What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the BallGame podcast. I'm Matt.
I'm Dean.
I'm Tom.
I'm Chris.
NFL free agency is in full force. Bags are getting handed out. Oh my goodness, so much money getting tossed around. Please let us get some of that. So many contracts. What?
It'd be nice, bro, if I could just hold a couple dollars.
You're so cringe, bro, for these intros, bro.
Wow, let us get some of that.
I'm cringe now.
Yeah, man, good, bro.
Let us get some of that.
Let us get some of that, bro.
I mean, yeah. You don't want your piece?
I want my piece.
You don't want some bag?
Bro.
Oh, I want some bag. I want some bag.
We all want bags, and NFL players are getting their bags this offseason. So there's been a lot of money handed out. As I said before Dean decided to interrupt me. Don't do it again.
Shout out Pete.
Some big time moves. What? Oh, I see what you did there. Some overpays, some great value contracts, some teams that are making all the moves in the world to make themselves title contenders, and other teams that have gotten absolutely destroyed by NFL free agency. With the reigning Super Bowl champs, the Philadelphia Eagles have lost, I want to say, like 8 to 10 players already. So a lot of moves still to be done. Teams still to improve, and we're going to talk about all that. So how you doing, fellas?
Good. It was a fun day yesterday. I mean, a lot of the moves were like the bigger names, I guess, like Sam Darnold to the Seahawks. A lot of people saw that coming. But there was a lot of pleasant surprises that, you saw and you were like, oh, that's a nice move. I think we did okay. We'll get into it, but it was a good day. It was a good day one.
There's always so much movement, but like some of these guys, like sometimes it just doesn't pan out. You know what I mean? Like sometimes it's a perfect fit, but just doesn't, like, maybe changing teams mentally, whatever it is. So it's like a lot of these moves look so damn good on paper. Mm-hmm. A lot of them look like a lot of teams look like they did really well. So it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out when the season starts. But it's lit that the football doesn't
some action.
Yeah, it doesn't stop. You know what I mean?
Like we got some action. Got the draft soon too.
I enjoyed all of the mid QB movement. I enjoy that there's a lot of teams with new QBs. I just want to see fresh football, and I feel like whenever a team has a new QB, you want to watch at least one game, right? One full game of them, So I feel like week one's going to be absolute cinema, just being able to watch all the different situations.
I feel like there was more movement this year than there has been in the
Especially
past.
with starting quarterbacks, right?
Yeah, definitely with starting quarterbacks. But like in general, I don't know. It just feels like there's been a bunch of players and especially just the same teams for the most part. The same few teams have made a whole bunch of moves. But also, to your point with the quarterback movement, apparently, I mean, the Rams should have traded Matthew Stafford and said, screw competing, because that's what DeShields believes. Because if you're a Super Bowl contender.
DeShields, because DeShields
we gotta get DeShields
posted on our Instagram. I don't know if you guys saw his wide receiver ranking.
Oh, I saw.
And he had DK Metcalf at number 13 and Malik Neighbors.
Oh, that was him? I didn't even realize that was DeShields.
And
I
he had
saw that
Malik
comment.
Neighbors at number 15.
That long ass.
Yeah. I didn't realize that was DeShields. Oh yeah, I saw that. That was atrocious.
He has DK like right behind like Amon Ra, who's at 12.
Why is he at 12?
I don't know. He has Devontae Adams at number 9. Something crazy.
I mean, Devontae
is not number 9.
Yeah, he's top 10 still.
No, he's not. He's not top 10 still. We could debate this another time.
Yeah.
We just went back and
I mean,
forth
hey, they
last
might
episode.
have. Speaking of top 10, they easily have a top 10, if not top 5, if not top 1 wide receiver duo in the NFL now with the Los Angeles Rams. I mean, Devontae, as we know, went to the Rams on a 2-year deal. Half of it's guaranteed, so only the first year is guaranteed. If he's washed, if he sucks, kick his ass out the door. It doesn't really matter. But I love how everyone on Twitter and stuff was saying how they didn't want to pay Cooper Kupp, a 32-year-old, 31-year-old wide receiver, and they decided, did someone rip ass?
Wasn't me.
Did not.
Wasn't me.
Scouts honor.
Okay. Anyways. But yeah, so they didn't want to pay Cooper Kupp, but then they ended up paying Devontae Adams. I mean, it makes perfect sense. So what version of Kupp are you really getting at this point? Seemed like he was a little bit of a shell of himself this past year. And I still think Devontae's a stud. I still think Devontae's a top 10 receiver in the NFL.
I think that's consensus. So, I don't know if we're all at top 10, but I think we all still think Devontae's got a lot left in the tank.
Oh, yeah. A whole lot of ball left in the tank. And just don't allow Jimmy Garoppolo to get in the game, and I think we're all good here. But
yeah, it's generally a good philosophy to have.
Because Devontae hates that, man.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I forgot all about that. Yeah, I feel like Devontae is just, and respect to Cooper Kupp, I do think he he can still produce, but I think Devontae is just a better version of Cup at this point. Like, I think he can fit pretty seamlessly. And Puka was on Pat McAfee yesterday. He's super excited to have him there, and just another elite level vet to learn from for him. And he was obviously a stud last year. So, yeah, I think it's a perfect move for the Rams.
Well, I like how the Rams construct their receiver room to where like a lot of their guys can play on the inside and outside and can move around the field.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Probably makes it really hard for other teams to game plan for their passing attack. And
it's
Devontae
McVay.
could do just that. He's elite both inside and outside. And so is Puka Nacua, so is Cooper Kupp in his time with the Rams. Like all elite and playing in all areas of the field.
Yeah, and you got McVay scheming up. It probably is a nightmare.
Bro,
yeah,
it's
and Stafford dealing.
tossing
Yeah,
that
it's
rock.
probably is a nightmare.
Good Lord, the Rams, man.
Yeah.
The Rams are so here. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
What's your deal with me?
Oh,
Why can't I
yeah.
like the Rams? What is that about?
Wait, what happened? I missed this.
I don't
Nah.
know. I said that they were when DJ Reed signed. I said like go look to the Lions like having to guard Tay and Puka. Matty J said, "Don't make me hate the Rams, bro." Here he goes. He has another team.
It
Like,
is true. You do like
I picked the
switch
Rams
up.
to win the Super Bowl, to go to the Super Bowl last year before the season started. I picked them last year before the playoffs started, and when we did our way too early predictions, I picked the Rams
only
to go to
said
the
that
Super
because
Bowl. I've been here.
Every time Chris like starts to really ride a team, I start to really fucking hate that team.
But I've been riding the Rams, so that's what I'm saying.
You've been riding the Dolphins. You've been riding who else?
But I'm a Dolphins fan. I've been
Commanders.
riding the Rams on the
Commanders. You're a
podcast.
Commander fan.
I am.
Oh my god.
the Cardinals at one point, the Jaguars
Bro,
at one
those
point.
were 5 years
The
ago,
Bills.
though.
The
Those
Bills,
were
the Bills,
pre-podcast.
yep.
I love the Bills.
The
I do
Chiefs.
love the Bills. I love the
Chiefs.
Chiefs too.
You can't lose. I can't lose.
I did lose, though.
And you
I
still
did
lost.
lose. I did lose.
That's tough.
Are there others? Are there others, Chris?
Other
Well,
teams.
he's wearing a
well,
Lions shirt.
I am.
Well, preseason, you got to like lay out the agenda for
The
upcoming
Bears.
season.
The Bears
Chris
are
doesn't
another
want to
one.
put it in
Bears, yeah.
concrete.
No.
Chris wants to switch up. He
The
does
Falcons. The Falcons
Falcons
is
are
a good
another
one.
one.
The
There
Falcons
you
is a
go.
good one.
Bears.
Pull.
What are we at? Like
What are we
18?
at? 7 or 8
Yeah,
teams?
we're-
Chris was
18.
swearing by Desmond Ritter 2 years ago, bro.
I was.
And I told you.
You did tell us.
Remember I
You
called
told
that?
us. You
That was
told
awesome.
us. You definitely
See?
told
I'm
us.
the best.
I will give you that. You told
Someone had to tell you guys that Desmond Ritter wasn't a good quarterback.
I had a hot take.
Yeah.
We did a hot take video, and I told them, I was like, Desmond Ritter's gonna get benched mid-season. They go, no, bro, no, Desmond Ritter. He won 4 games without throwing a pick.
He
I was
did?
like, bro, okay.
He didn't look bad.
I was like, okay.
objectively, he
And
did
what did he
not
do? What did he
look
do? He
bad.
got benched mid-season.
Definitely got banned. I don't even know if he made it to midseason, but yeah.
No, Dean, you looked like a prophet in that episode. Honestly,
I said
You a lot of-
I said Baker Mayfield was gonna bring
We're
the
here
Bucs.
on the Baker. Yeah,
the
you were
playoffs.
definitely here
You
on
were
Baker.
probably one of the first people on.
And I predicted the Jets offseason so far.
Yeah, Justin Fields.
And Aaron Glenn. I said Aaron Glenn on the episode.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but you said
Aaron
the Saints
Glenn.
were going to the playoffs. It's not like you don't have bad takes, too.
I feel like,
Yeah, I
I feel like
can't
we
be
don't
perfect.
all need to hash out, our takes, and I feel like we all miss a fair amount of
a
the time,
lot.
Yeah, but
So,
I make
part
the
of
big
the game.
ones.
Do you make the big ones?
Mm-hmm.
You didn't get the Super Bowl, right?
What did I say for the Super? Oh, yeah. No, I didn't
Well,
get
none of us.
I'm not even a Bears guy, though. I
What?
just bet on the Bears. I drafted
Who said
fucking...
something about the Bears?
Oh, I
He
did. No,
did.
no, I did.
I drafted Caleb in Dynasty.
Like, what?
Nobody.
I was like, what just happened?
I
Who said the
drafted
Bears?
Caleb
He's just
in
imagining
Dynasty,
us
bro.
saying
What am I
teams
supposed
now.
to do?
We said so many that he can't even keep
He's
them
like,
straight.
yo, I'm not a fan of all 32, all right?
When you had
like, when the
Jahmyr
fuck did I
Gibbs
say
on
the
your
Titans?
Dynasty team,
Yeah.
were you rooting for the Lions to, I don't know, score points?
I was rooting for Jahmyr Gibbs. I hated Montgomery. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
but you wanted
Yeah.
Jahmyr Gibbs and the Lions. You wanted Amon-Ra St. Brown to get some catches to get Jahmyr Gibbs closer to a touchdown.
Yeah, I wanted
right?
to get it
Yeah.
close to the goal
So, like
line.
me having Caleb Williams in Dynasty, like I want Roma Dunze to eat. I want DJ Moore to eat. I
you
want
could be a
DeAndre
fan.
Swift. But like
But you don't care if they win.
yeah, I could give less of a fuck. The Commanders I care about. The Dolphins I care about. That's it. That's my list. The Rams I like because I picked them to go to the Super
So
Bowl.
that's
I
it.
think
Just
they're-
the Commanders and Dolphins.
Those are
that's
your
how
teams.
it's been for 2 years now. Yeah, 2 years. So,
He's been on this ride.
For 2 years now, I've been a
fucking God,
diehard
bro.
fan for 2 years.
I've been a Dolphins fan for longer than 2 years. The Commanders is Sam Howell
Hated.
brought me to
I
the
think-
Oh, yeah, Sam
Commanders.
I think your longest ride was the Blake Bortles
Jaguars.
Jacksonville.
I was a Jaguars fan for a long time.
Yeah.
Jacksonville was fun, man.
Until Jalen Ramsey left. Then you left with the fandom. Yeah.
To the Rams. And I've been on the because Jalen Ramsey's my favorite player.
Now he's a Dolphin.
Right. That's how I ended up at the Dolphins. That's how I got here.
He is
Makes
giving us
sense.
the treat.
It
He
does
follows
make sense,
players,
yeah.
not teams.
Yeah.
Follows players.
Fine.
So are you a
It's not the
Seahawks guy
olden days
now? Like,
anymore.
Why?
well, Sam Howell was there, but he's not starting anymore because
Oh, I said this. I said to you, I think, the other day at work, I said if Sam Howell ends up the starter for the Seahawks, like shit's gonna get electric on this podcast, bro. If Sam Howell gets another chance, bro, shit's gonna get
He was a great fantasy quarterback for that year.
was
What was he?
awesome
What is he?
with
Quarterback 4? Something like that.
something like that. Top 10
top
for sure.
six,
Yeah,
top 6, I think.
Bro.
yeah. No, that was good. That
He
was
threw
a good
so many
ride.
touchdowns. It didn't even matter how many picks he threw. He was like Jameis. It was like kind of.
He was Jameis, yeah.
No, he was a
really
monster. That's my dog. How come Cooper Kupp is better than to you two, better than DK, but Chris Godwin isn't?
Godwin's coming off a pretty serious foot injury, so
Cooper
that
Kupp
takes
was
away-
just ass.
Kupp was not ass.
Pretty bad down the
He was-
stretch. Him and Godwin
Towards the
probably
end, he
ball.
wasn't good.
him and Godwin
Not
probably
get the
produced
ball.
the same amount down the stretch of the season. The thing about Godwin was he was.
Stafford
Injured.
refused to throw that man the ball.
Is that what happened?
I feel like
Yes.
there's got to be a good reason for
I-
that. Stafford never refused.
Was
to
he
throw.
just
I think
not-
Cup
Yeah.
consensus is better than Godwin just in general. No, is that not true?
When Godwin was healthy last year, no.
I feel
yeah,
like
there's
no.
very few that were better than
Yeah,
him.
yeah,
when
he was one of the
healthy
best in the
last
game.
year.
Okay, but like
The last
different.
sample we saw of Godwin, he was like dogging
a-
everyone, and the
Yes.
last sample we saw of Cooper Kupp, he was like not
Not
just like
dogging
not
everyone,
good,
yeah.
like he was pretty bad.
Yeah, but I don't look at like 7 weeks and say that.
I mean, Kupp hasn't really been that great since his Triple Crown. He started off last year pretty good, but then got hurt and Puka kind of took over. It's not like Kupp just fell off last year. Like Kupp hasn't been that same guy for a
Maybe
few
I'm
years
just
now.
overrating the injury
No.
that Godwin had, but he's had multiple serious injuries in his career. Like
I don't, because someone
most
pointed it
recent
out in
one-
the comments. And so I
No,
was
I saw
like,
that. I know,
so
I
I was
know.
like, that makes sense
Solid
because
point.
you took Kupp because of like the versatility and everything he could do, and that's cool. But like Godwin and Kupp are like similar players, and I feel like Godwin probably is better right now. So
I do feel like Godwin wouldn't have gotten a bag from the team he was already on if the injury was that serious. They know all of his medical stuff. They probably wouldn't have given him that bag if it was that.
And the
crazy.
Patriots
also,
were
yeah, I
going
was about
after
to say
him
there
pretty
was
hard,
money on
yeah.
the table too.
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, apparently he got more.
Yeah,
than
that's
that.
what I'm saying.
Yeah,
He's-
so Ameri-
they said he left
apparently
20 mil on the table,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Probably
I just
the
thought that
best.
was interesting though, because someone pointed out in the comments. I was like, that's a
No, it's a good
a good
point.
goal.
Looking back
Yes.
at it, yeah, I mean, I probably maybe change a few things. I would maybe say Godwin over DK too, but I don't know. I still think Kupp has a lot left in the tank, in my personal opinion, and I just think he got frozen out of the offense.
I just feel like, in terms of Godwin type of players, like slot working the middle of the field, I feel like in this NFL today, there are more above average of those kinds of players than there are elite field stretchers.
No, that I agree.
Kupp
I took
isn't that.
I took DK over both of them. I agree.
Yeah.
For that reason. That's what I'm saying. The why Kupp and not God.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I guess the argument is just who's better, Kupp or Godwin.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's probably Godwin at this point.
At this point,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know.
Where do we-
I've kind of learned. Go ahead.
Before we go into the actual moves that happen while we're on the topic of it, where do we think Kupp ends up?
Cup.
We didn't talk about that.
I like
right?
the Patriots. The Patriots are clearly like gunning for a wide receiver
It
one,
makes a lot of sense.
and they are not afraid. They're clearly not afraid to throw money around. I think the Patriots are going to give him a good offer.
I would like to see them continue to build the O line and just draft a receiver. I would like to see them just take Tet. I feel like he could be their franchise.
I mean,
receiver.
if Kupp's there for them for the taking and it's not too expensive, like I wouldn't rule out them taking Ted even if they
Yeah.
get Kupp, especially because those two guys are like two completely different guys anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not like you sign Cooper Kupp and Ted has to sit behind Cooper
but-
Kupp to get on the field.
Exactly. If
you
you
know?
draft,
position.
if you
I
draft
actually think
Ted,
it'd be perfect.
That'd
if
be
they
cool,
signed
actually.
Kupp
Yeah.
and drafted
if
Ted.
you draft Ted and sign Cup, like they go from probably the worst receiving core in football to a pretty damn good one.
average,
You know,
yeah.
like, yeah.
The 18th best receiving.
Nah, but like
better
that's
than where they were. Yeah,
that's
yeah,
a
yeah.
huge jump for especially for a second-year quarterback. You know.
Yeah.
Nah. Speaking of Sam Howell, now being the backup in Seattle, he is not going to be the starter because they handed a big old bag to Sam Darnold right after trading Geno Smith to the Raiders. So we could talk about both those moves. First, obviously the one that caused the domino effect here. Geno Smith was traded for a third-round pick to the Las Vegas Raiders. How do we feel about that move? Because I personally absolutely loved it. I thought it was a great move. Pairing back up with Pete Carroll, get a vet quarterback in the room. Raiders are, we could take them a little bit more serious now.
Yeah, we were. Sorry, you go.
No,
I talk for. Okay,
you're
yeah.
good.
All right.
That was cute.
No, I just feel like I talk first a lot, so he just winked at me. So I like Geno to the Raiders, like you said, the Pete Carroll fit. We talked about it last week. How they want to get asses in seats, they want to win some games and put some numbers on the board. And Geno has shown that he can win games. Like he can get them to, I guess, 9 or 10 wins, and maybe have them compete at least for a wild card spot or something. And new ownership, they want to start fresh. They just paid Max Crosby. They want to compete, and I think this is a trend in the right direction.
Okay. So my thing about the Raiders, I think we talked about it last week. I think the Raiders are more in the business of selling tickets than they are winning football games. And I think this move further proves that. I think an aging Geno Smith, as he might be a top 15 quarterback in the league, is there to sell
definitely
jerseys
top
and
15.
put seats in the
Easily top.
Yeah.
That's why I said it. I think getting 80-year-old Pete Carroll in the building is a move to get fans in the seats and just get people interested enough to come to the games and keep them relevant. I think these kinds of moves are not, winning football team moves. I don't see them doing anything of substance this year. I think they're just painfully mid.
But let me ask you the question. How are you as an organization supposed to move in the right direction? So hiring a Super Bowl head coach is a move to get asses in seats, but not to improve your organization. Is that what you're saying to me?
Daniel Jones signed with the Colts.
At least we saw that
Nice.
coming, yeah. I got both of them in Dynasty. I got the two worst quarterbacks in Dynasty.
You got your handcuffed quarterback, bro. Congratulations.
Honestly, I need one with him, bro. Yeah, but I
have him in
think,
my other league, Daniel Jones. I'm about to throw him on the trade block.
Jeez.
I think that
Because if so, I genuinely think that's a horrible take.
I don't think it's a horrible take at all. I think Pete Carroll's one of the bigger names in football, and I think that
And
is
a great head
Was
coach.
he not
But
the best
he-
man or like really qualified for the job though?
qualified, I guess, but I feel like there were a lot
No,
of.
there's no I guess. He's fucking qualified.
But I think age. I know it's a head coach, but age in a freaking football coach matters.
But that's
bro.
not. But they didn't
So-
hire him to say, "Yo, you're for our next 10 years." They hired him for 2 to 3 years. Here we go, change the culture, and then we could bring a new guy in. Let's
But I
establish.
think for those 2-3 years,
someone
it's also-
Probably off of
in-house.
his,
Yeah,
off of
someone that
his
he's
coaching tree.
mentoring, someone who's there with him that he's mentoring to
Yeah.
take the job.
And
you know what I
Gino
mean?
is exactly that too.
And-
2 to 3 years, mentor a young quarterback, whoever we get in the future. We'll extend him. We'll give him a few years, and then we have a new quarterback.
So, ready? The Raiders needed a quarterback. Whether they wanted to win or put fans in the seat, whatever they wanted to do, they needed a quarterback, right? They traded a third-round pick for Geno Smith.
Yeah.
If they didn't do that, they probably
and they paid him.
and they paid him. If they didn't do that, they probably would have drafted a quarterback at some point in this draft. Would a quarterback have been there for them at 6? Probably not. I
Maybe.
don't think.
Shador.
I don't think so, the way things are headed, but probably not. So if they drafted a quarterback in the 2nd or 3rd round, a Jackson Dart, a Jalen Milroe, a Will Howard, whoever the hell it is, would you rather have that guy or Geno? It's easily Geno.
Yeah, I just feel like they're gonna end up doing
This was
the gimmicky move, and they're gonna take Genty, even though they don't need a running back just
might
yet
be
at
what they
7.
do, too.
They're gonna. I just think the Raiders are full
No, they
of
desperately need a
gimmicky,
running back.
Gimmicky moves. Yeah, but taking one at 7 is not the move for a team that has so many other holes to fill. They're not the Lions that we're full of talent, and Gibbs was the final piece to put them over the edge.
I don't think
It
they
wasn't
have as
like
many
it's not
holes
like
to fill
that.
as you think they do either.
Okay,
But-
they need what? They need receiving help. They need a running back. They need secondary. They need O-line for
They
sure.
don't need O-line. They have a very good O-line, but
They don't need O-line at all.
not really. They have a very good offensive line.
I don't
I mean,
think
they
they're
could.
they're not a good football
every
team.
team can improve the offensive line.
They're not a
Like,
good
I'm just
football
saying.
team.
I think they're a better football
Their
team.
linebackers aren't that good. Their front four's
Roberts
pretty
Spillane
good.
is gone. That's the
Yeah,
problem.
their front four is good. Their defense is weak though. Other
Yeah.
than
Front
that,
four is very good. Yeah, outside of that.
Wasn't their
They-
defense like really
They
good down
signed
the stretch of
Jeremy
the season?
Chin.
though,
They
last
signed
season?
Jeremy Chin, which was cool. What?
Wasn't their defense like really good down the stretch of the season?
Year
though?
before.
Oh, it was the year before.
Year
Yeah,
before,
yeah.
their defense was elite. Really good. Top 10 unit.
I just feel like I agree with you. If they take Genti, like that's a mistake for them, sure. But like this move by itself, I feel like this was far and away the best quarterback option for them.
So
For
I think-
only a third round pick to get
What about
that
Caleb
guy.
Johnson in the second round? Be a good move for them?
yeah, if they go somebody else at 7, yeah,
Okay.
that's different. It's a lot different.
Okay. I'm asking.
Even for like a team like the Cowboys who have other holes to fill. Like I think Genti, sure, it's a good fit for Genti, but I feel like for the Cowboys, like taking a guy like Genti at 12, they could.
I agree.
There's
it's
so many
also a
running backs, they
mistake.
could just take one in the second round.
I agree.
Yeah.
I feel like the Raiders were at a point where
Sign Javante.
They did.
they needed a quarterback so bad, but they weren't in a position to get the franchise guy. So in terms of a bridge quarterback who can maybe help you get to the playoffs, I feel like there was no better option available than Gino.
Yeah.
So I feel
I
like,
agree.
Yeah,
I was
they didn't have
dying
to-
for the Giants
yeah, I
to
feel
go
like
get
the
him.
move's an A plus,
They
honestly.
didn't have to give him
Given
a ton either for
Yeah.
Gino. Third round picks, whatever for.
That's what I'm
franchise
saying.
guy.
A top 12 quarterback, in my personal opinion,
Yeah.
in the NFL. Like,
No, I don't
like if you look
disagree
at
with
it,
the
like
move.
if you look
and
at
that's
it,
great for Brock Bowers
yeah.
also.
And I mean, if you look
Yeah.
at it like you either have Gino or you draft a quarterback in this draft with that third round pick, who would you rather have, the third round quarterback or Gino to be your? It's a bridge guy no matter what. You weren't getting
Yeah.
a franchise guy no matter what, probably.
No,
Unless you just have, insane draft luck in the third round. Jackson Dart is
you get a Russell Wilson.
God, yeah. But like
the move itself, I don't disagree with. Like, just the move in a vacuum. But I think the Raiders as a whole, the way the organization is moving, feels gimmicky. You bring Brady on as an owner. You bring, it just feels like.
I
feels
feel
very
like it's
Vegas.
I see what you're saying, but I also feel like it's working. Like it's going well. You know?
I feel
This is
like
how you
it's
need to do it.
similar
Yeah.
to the Sacramento Kings in basketball from a few years ago, where the Kings were just desperate to get a taste of playoff and winning, And I think that's where the Raiders are at right now. The Raiders are like every team's going to say they're trying to win a Super Bowl. Let's be real. The Raiders' main priority right now isn't winning a Super Bowl. It's everything you said. They're, new city, big town, Las Vegas. It's get fans in the seat and win some games and get the fans excited. So, and I think that's similar to the Kings from a few years ago. And the Kings did that and made the playoffs. Where the Kings fucked up was after that, not being content with that mediocrity and not capitalizing on what they had. So I think if the Raiders could get to a spot where they're a competitive team, which I think they're trending that way, then you go from there and enter. It's like 2 phases to the rebuild.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Get competency in the building, become a competent organization. Then we could attract better free agents. Maybe we have the right guys drafting, yada yada yada, the whole 9 yards. Let's get competency in the building. Then we could become a contender. You know what I mean?
It almost makes me think, like, you have Tom Brady in your damn building. You think he's going to be okay with you being a mediocre team anymore? It's not going to happen. It's just not how it is. Brady's never been wired like that. I don't give a shit what anybody says. And I think, yes, he has a lot of say in the personnel decisions, in any decisions from this point forward, especially if you're an active owner nonetheless, you're going to be involved. I think this was the best move that you could have made with Pete Carroll, with Geno Smith. They did a great job in establishing something that they care about this year's team, that they care about the future, and they're going to figure it out. This is the most that I've seen a vision from the Raiders in 10 years since the Derek Carr era, before Derek Carr went down with a broken leg. This is the most vision I've seen with the Raiders since then. So I got to give them credit for that.
Yeah.
Are we grading this move? Is that what we're doing?
Well, I mean, if we are, then what would we give the Devontae? Would we give the Devontae A pluses all around?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think A plus.
What would you give the Devontae move?
The Devontae, A. Give it an A. It was fantastic.
Okay. And now Gino, I would give an A as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd give an A.
Give it a B plus.
So the move that then, came right after that was for the Seattle Seahawks, Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold, 3 years, $110.5 million, I think it was. And look, I understand that you couldn't go into next season with Sam Howell out there at your starting quarterback, but oof. Last year's Sam Darnold was in the perfect situation. I think we can all say that was one of the best situations for a quarterback in the entire NFL. And this year, he steps into one of the worst situations for a quarterback in the NFL. I hate the move. I don't think it was a good one at all. So, yeah, I mean, we saw what happened when Sam Darnold goes and has all the pressure in the world on his shoulders, and he crumbled. So, good luck, Seattle.
I think that Sam is also still young. You look at his age, he's still 27 years old. I know he's been in the league for a minute and he's been on a lot of teams, but I think he's still growing. And in those times when he's crumbling under pressure, I think as a younger quarterback, you're still growing. And I think him getting that contract, I think it was great. I thought it was a slam dunk for Seattle. I think they got their guy. I think Sam's going to be a franchise quarterback for Seattle. They got 7 years younger from Geno Smith. And you're paying him almost the same amount as you would have paid Geno Smith anyway. I think I love the move for Seattle.
Yeah, I thought at first I read that and I was like, holy shit, that's a lot of money. But it says 3 years, 100.5.
Oh, could get up to 110?
Sure, that's probably what it is.
33 mil a year for
33 a
that's
year.
not bad for this QB.
No, it's really
market.
not like for considering that a lot of people.
And that's exactly Baker's contract.
Yeah,
Like
considering that a lot of people thought he was going to get close to, if not north of 40, and they got him on, I think, a pretty good deal. I mean, he was in a great system last year. We know that, but he threw 4,300 yards and 35 touchdowns. Like he had a fantastic year. Like that's what you got to pay for a guy that puts up those kind of numbers. And I know the playoff stuff. And listen, that could just be who he is. There's plenty of guys all throughout sports that just when the lights get bright, they shrink. We'll see. New regime, new situation. But it's a 3-year deal. Like I said, it's not a Daniel Jones contract. I don't think it'll handicap them for too long if it doesn't work out. I like it overall.
I mean, this has to work out because I feel like the Seahawks had a good thing going. And yeah, Geno was aging, but you blew shit up and put your faith into Sam Darnold. And I feel like you have more holes on the roster today than you did yesterday. You lost DK, like you need receiving help. You still haven't really addressed the offensive line. The defense is, I think that defense is average at best. Like I think they have some cool pieces, but overall I think they're an average unit. So, I mean, but you won 10 games last year and you were a game away from, you were a tiebreaker away from making the playoffs. So you blew things up. And so, yeah, Sam, it has to work out, but I don't think it's a bad contract. Like you said, a guy who played at that level last year, I feel like 33 mil a year is probably just about market value for that guy. So I think the contract's fine. I agree it's not too much to where it's going to handicap them from making other moves, but they have to make those other moves now. You have to beef up the interior of that offensive line. You have to add another playmaker next to JSN. Like there's moves to be made now. So overall, I think it was again similar to kind of Geno with the Raiders. Like it was probably the best option out there for them, considering they lost Geno. Geno requested a trade. I think it came out because they didn't want to give him an extension. Right, yeah. So if you were going to lose Geno, I feel like this is a good option.
Even like Dean said, it's a huge age gap too. So like, if they felt like they couldn't go any further with Geno, like maybe they felt, all right, we're 2 years away from seriously competing. Geno's gonna be 35, making 40-something million at that point. Like we can't live with that. So we'd rather have Darnold make at 29 on, in the last year of his contract, and then you see where you're at with that.
But my thing is, And look, the value of the contract isn't the problem with the contract. It's the fact that this was a move that needs to be made in hand with other moves. Like you said before, there were other moves to be made, and you haven't made any of them. There hasn't been any. It was the worst offensive line in football, or one of them last year. And you watched Sam Darnold crumble when he was under pressure, literally under pressure.
Yeah.
And you said, oh, let's bring him into the worst offensive line in the NFL, where he's going to go through that every single game?
But do you think the other parts of the team come before the quarterback? Or do you think the quarterback is the foundation and you build your team around the quarterback?
I think it comes hand in hand.
It goes hand in hand.
Okay,
number
but it's
one,
been one day in free agency.
and number two, it also. But
Yeah,
here's
but
the
all the
thing:
more key
he's
guys
a
are gone.
27-year-old quarterback. This is not a young quarterback where it's like, oh, we're going to draft him.
27 in
And
quarterback world is young.
but that's not what I'm saying. He's been through 7 years of the NFL already, or whatever, however long it's been with Sam. This is not a rookie.
And he just came off his best year of his career.
yes, and came off the 2 worst games of his season.
He threw 4,300 yards and threw for how many touchdowns?
35.
35 touchdowns. It was a good season for Sam Darnold.
It was a very good
Great
season for Sam Darnold in the best situation in the NFL.
That's-
2 things can be true.
And he's getting paid 33. They didn't break the bank for Sam Darnold.
I agree. I'm just saying this wasn't the move for Seattle. Like,
what was the move?
keep Geno. Pay him. You
Bro,
extend him.
35. If you're complaining about the rest of the team, I think they need more time. I think getting what you can for Geno now, knowing you have those holes to fill, while getting younger and turning back the clock, you give yourself more time. If you wait too long with Geno Smith, he dies on your team. That's it. He dies.
Right.
And you don't have anything else.
I agree.
At least now you
why I'm
have
bringing a guy in.
you turn back the clock 7 years and you could buy yourself more time, which is exactly what they did.
Right, but you say bring a guy. Sometimes it's not that easy. Sometimes there isn't a guy to go get. They felt like Sam Darnold was a guy worth going to get. You know what I mean? Like
Guys that throw for over
that's how you end
4,000
up paying
yards
Daniel
don't grow on
Jones.
trees.
I'm not disagreeing with that fact. I'm disagreeing with the fact that Sam Darnold is going from one of the best situations. Like, this is simply where I feel.
Imagine we grew on trees.
imagine 4,000-yard passers grew on trees. Like,
There's just a guy in the back that has his backyard. He's like, yeah, this is where you get the 4,300 yards.
it's like some shady ass dude.
You
He's
want
like,
30
hey.
touchdowns? Yeah, get back here. Get back here.
He's like, hey, I might know a place where you can get maybe 4,000.
Roger Goodell's
It cost
basement.
you a lot. Yeah,
Roger Goodell's greenhouse of NFL players.
it's some farm in like the middle of PA.
Canton, Ohio.
No, I agree though.
Hey, them
I
country
feel like
boys, man.
I feel like that's the perfect way to say it. Is that the Seahawks, even though we probably feel like they weren't that far away. Again, they did win 10 games last year. The Seahawks probably felt that they were more than a year away. So I think I agree with you. Turning back the clock a little bit gives you more time to figure it out, because this isn't. It's not a rebuild right now in Seattle. It's a retooling period, and kind of working out the kinks. So obviously, clearly, it's more than a 1-year process, considering all they did in free agency was bring in Sam Darnold. Like, this isn't I don't know where they're standing right now unless they have a home run draft. Like, this isn't a playoff team looking at it. So they're more than a year away.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm just looking at it from like, what value are you going to get immediately off this contract? And I just don't think, and I guess you're looking at it more as an organizational value. I'm looking at it as like, how is Sam Darnold going to play next year? And I don't think it's going to be pretty football.
The thing is, I think what Chris and I are saying is it's not for next year. It's for next year, the year after, and the year after,
Right.
and possibly giving him another contract in
But
a
you
couple
don't
years.
think you do this to Sam again, right? Like, where he has to go through a situation of running for his life, seeing ghosts, and playing some real shit football that's gonna.
I agree with that too. It's going into the next year. Again, this is where things stand right now. They could totally have just a home run draft and we look at it different, but where things stand right now, it's a situation that probably isn't going to lend to good quarterback play, and we've seen Sam Darnold in a situation like that before, and it almost ruined him. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's like, can Sam Darnold mentally afford to be in a situation
Yes,
with
that's what
the
I'm saying.
worst offensive line in football? Which they're
I guess we'll find out.
I guess we're
they're
gonna
at
see it.
best a bottom 10 unit right now. You know what I mean?
You gotta think that this offseason, next offseason, there's a plan.
Oh, yeah,
to get
100%.
offensive
I mean, they got
line.
they got a second
I
round
would
pick for
hope
DK.
so.
They got a
Right.
second round pick for DK. They got a third round pick for Gino. Like they can go. They still have money. Like they can
Right.
go.
I'm not particularly
Yeah.
too worried about the Seahawks' ability to build some kind of offensive line for Sam. You just paid a quarterback. You want to keep him healthy and
Right.
mentally right. I mean, I think that
What Matt's
There's
saying
something
is
there.
it so bad going into this season that like can Sam Darnold
you
mentally
think you're going to
endure
destroy
that?
Sam Darnold year one.
I
Right,
think you
that's what
could,
he's at.
yes.
That's what
I
it's
think you
possible.
could.
I think it's
not.
possible.
Yeah, it's not.
It's
I was gonna say it's
possible,
not.
but I'm not
impossible.
going to call that. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that's
You can.
fine.
You can
Yeah.
predict that. I'm not going to predict that Sam Darnold's going to.
I don't want to predict.
I mean,
that.
who did they
just-
bring in as OC? Clint Kubiak?
Kubiak.
I like
Yeah.
that. That's
That's
cool.
a cool move. Very similar to
Yeah.
KOC. But
I mean, they have holes on the roster for sure.
No doubt.
but
Yeah.
yeah, like I mean,
I
your
think
wide
given
receivers
though,
are low right now.
I mean, if Gino like Gino asked for a trade, you were gonna have Sam Howell at quarterback. So I feel like this was the best move you can make.
What do you?
I don't know what the guarantees are in it, but I'm sure there's
50.
there's probably an out after the
okay.
second
About
year.
half
Yeah,
guaranteed.
All right.
yeah. So that there's after the second year you could get out
55
of it.
is
So
guaranteed.
after the first year, they may say, "Yeah, no, we don't want
Yeah.
him no more." What do you grade this?
I know I just gave the other one a B plus. I'm going to give it a B plus. I don't think it's in A territory, but I think it's actually a good contract. I'll give it a B plus.
I think the contract is great, but I do think, like you guys are saying, there's so many other holes on the roster that if you don't do anything else, it could be a bad move. So I'll concur with that. I'll give it B plus.
I'm gonna go with a B. We'll go a tier below the B plus, but I agree with all your guys' points.
I'm gonna go with a C minus.
Wow,
vision.
man.
Jeez,
I see the vision, Dean, but you
that's
ain't-
rough.
Yeah,
Not even on the good value. Like doesn't
So
buy
that's
anything.
like that's what you think is going to happen. You think it's so bad going into this year that they're going to ruin him?
I think they could.
Yeah.
Yes.
But you don't think that's
No,
going
but
to
you
happen?
think that's what's good. If you're grading it a C
Yeah, yeah,
minus,
so
I
you
feel
don't
like
think
that's
that's
No,
gonna
no.
happen with
If I
Gino?
was guaranteeing that was going, no, we just watched
no
Gino do it.
guarantee would be crazy, but like that's what you think. Is gonna
If you had to go one way, or
I
the
would have
other.
given it lower if I really fully believed that. That's why I'm like kind of siding with the fact that I think I could see the vision as to what you guys are saying long term for the next few years. It helps build the team. But I also see where this could go horribly wrong. And I kind of feel very much on the fence about it, which is why I'm dead smack in the middle, C minus or C.
If it was
So-
based off short term, just 1 year, you'd give it an F.
Oh my God, yeah. Yeah, if it was this year.
They could totally draft a guy still too.
Yeah. Yeah, they definitely
One of those
Sure,
third
yeah.
round guys because they have extra picks.
The one
now,
thing they've
too,
given
you know
themselves
what I
is flexibility.
mean? Yeah.
For sure. All right, so I'll just rattle off. We'll go through. It's in alphabetical order by team, so we'll just go through some of the more notable signings here. So first up, we got the Arizona Cardinals. Their biggest move was signing Josh Sweat, 4 years, $76.4 million, $41 million guaranteed.
Somebody called this.
Matty J.
You called it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember you
Won't let
called it.
anyone
Matty J
forget
texted in
it.
the chat saying, "I know ball." Tom said nobody gives a
literally
I
fuck.
said nobody fucking cares.
Literally back to back. It was Milton goes to the Patriots and then Sweat goes to the Cardinals, and I go, I know fucking ball. And he goes,
predicted
nobody
both of
gives a
those?
yeah. He goes, nobody gives a
No one
shit.
fucking cares.
Nobody fucking cares.
This is an A+ move for me. I mean, the Cardinals needed edge. I mean, I predicted the Falcons. Those are probably the two teams that needed edge the most in the NFL. Like you said when you predicted it, he reunites with his old DC and Jonathan Gannon. So, I mean, this is a guy who could have easily been the Super Bowl MVP. So, not only is he a great player, but he's one of those guys who, over his career, has shown up in the big high leverage moments. So, it's an A+.
Yeah, I don't disagree. Yeah, he definitely could have been Super Bowl MVP. I'll go an A. I think an A+ would have been like Trey Hendrickson or something like that. You know, if you bring it, you know. But Josh Sweat can be he can get double-digit sacks. He can, like you said, if ever a team needed a pass rusher, it was this one. So, yeah, I'm with that. I'll give it an A.
I agree with Tom. I think an A+ lends to the upper echelon of edge rushers, which I don't think Josh Sweat is elite. So it is an A. They filled a need, but he's
Yeah,
not
but
the
to
best.
get one of those guys, they would have had to give up draft capital. They got the best edge rusher on the
Still
free
an
agency
A.
market.
I think an A+ though is still like
Yeah.
I'll give up the draft capital for Trey Hendrickson. I don't,
Yeah.
Oh, oof, I don't know what the bags these guys are getting right now. Myles Garrett just got 40 of them.
Bro, Micah
Garrett,
Parsons
yeah.
is
That's
literally
what I'm saying. This
rolling
is a
in dough.
nice freaking
This is a great contract
too. Yeah.
19 a year
Sick
for a
value,
good edge
bro.
rusher is great value.
Yeah, he can
right
easily
now.
play to.
I saw someone talking about it too. Like his production's gonna go down, like his counting stats,
Yes.
but he's gonna create opportunities for all the other guys because he's going to see a bunch of double teams and all that stuff. So he's just going to, it might not be there for him like in his personal stats, but he's going to help this defense so much, just his presence.
Yeah, so obviously, I think this is a great fit. I think it's a great move. I think the contract's awesome. My one fear is anybody coming from a rotational role to then have to step into a full-time role and be the guy. I always get scared of that a little bit. I'm gonna give it a B+. I think it's a great move, great value, but A's are for the best moves in free agency. This is up there, but it's not quite on that level. I'm scared as to see what this looks like if he's in a 99% of the snaps Max Crosby type of role. So,
All right.
but Gannon, the familiarity is a big thing.
Yeah.
So,
Let's see. Falcons, Ravens extended their long-time left tackle.
Ravens getting running. They got him on a nice contract.
Yes.
Yeah.
3 years, $60 million.
a lot of teams that wanted to go get him.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cheap for him.
Yeah. Buffalo Bills, Josh Allen, 6 years, $330 million.
Locked him down.
$250 million guaranteed.
You know what's crazy?
It's just the
Not
biggest
even
contract ever. We got to give it a shout, you know?
Not even the most average annual value either in the NFL,
It's insane.
which is crazy.
It's insane. Jerry Jones, bro.
Gave the team flexibility too.
What you
They
doing?
worked hard. I mean, they extended Josh Allen, Greg Russo, Khalil Shakir, 4 years, $60 million.
They're
I think
taking
that's a
care
good
of the guys.
deal.
Yo, I think
Terrell
Josh
Bernard.
Palmer, just while we're
Yeah.
on the Bills, Josh Palmer for the Bills is huge.
I like them.
Yep.
It's a good move.
They needed whatever help they could
Yeah.
get. Yeah.
He's a
Sad
good
to see Matt
receiver.
Collins go for the vibes, but like
Yeah.
Josh Palmer's a better
What did he go
player
to
than
the
Matt
Patriots?
Collins. Yeah.
He
Patriots,
seems like
yeah.
the most not Patriots player ever. He would not be a Patriot under Bill.
Such a
Under Bill
weird dude.
Belichick, he would not be a
Yeah.
Patriot.
I think he's actually like perfect for Bill because he's just weird enough to where Bill's gonna love him.
Yeah,
but he works
yeah.
his ass off.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can't be like mid-tier weird. You have to be like off the deep
Extra
end.
weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
You got to stand out.
Yeah, shout out to
Exactly.
Bill, so
All right.
good moves.
Moving on to the Carolina Panthers, extended J.C. Horn, 4 years, $100 million.
That was a bag.
That was a bag.
It sucks for the rest
He's
of the
really good, but he just never stays healthy.
Yeah.
teams like have to pay their corners.
Oh yeah.
The Sauce contract's gonna be no.
Stingley too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. They're gonna get bags.
They had, well, I was going to say they had Milton Williams, but we'll get into that. Next up, maybe the best free agency of all the teams in the NFL, the Chicago Bears. Now, before free agency even started, they traded for Jonah Jackson and Joe Tooney. I don't know how they got Joe Tooney for a 4th-round pick.
Yep.
And then they signed Grady
Dalman.
Jarrett, 3 years, $43.5 million. Drew Dalman, 3 years, $42 million. And then Durham Smythe and Tarvarius Moore. But yeah,
Genty is such a bear. Genty is such a bear, bro. Oh
as
my God.
someone with the number 1 pick in Dynasty, I hope so. Yeah,
I hope
I would like that.
Oh my gosh. With Ben Johnson. Oh my God.
So
What
the
a
Bears, I guess, just
goddamn
grade.
offseason.
Yeah, I was gonna say just grade. They're like we don't have to really. I don't think we have to go move by move.
We haven't
but,
even hit the draft yet.
Yeah,
I think, by the way, I think the best move in free agency is the Drew Dalman going to the Bears to complete the offensive line, in my personal opinion. So that gets an A++, because that was the move for this team that needed to be made, especially after the 2 signings. I thought that was amazing. Grady Jarrett, it was a surprise cut by the Falcons, but
yeah.
he's a little older.
dog, man.
He's a little older.
A dog, though.
He's not the player that he once was, but still a damn good player and going to help the Bears. I thought that was, especially for the value. I thought these guys were going to go for more on the interior. Some
Yeah,
of
3
them.
years, 43.5. Grady.
Last year they were going real high, but I think this year the interior line market chilled out.
Yeah.
Well, Grady's a guy who could play outside and in too. He could play all over the D line. I like Grady Jarrett.
There's a couple guys we'll talk about here with, but anytime you have an interior D lineman that can get pressure, it's such a
luxury. Yeah.
right. Yeah, like interior D line, your number 1 priority is stop the run. But yeah, if an interior D lineman can get pressure and you can just send 4 a lot of times, it's a huge luxury to have. So
Yeah, I mean, there's not much to be said here. The Bears saw their weaknesses and hit them on the head. I mean, completely overhauled the interior of their offensive line and got not even just good talent. They got all pro level talent in there. Like it's a A+ offseason. Every move gets an A+, especially when you kind of factor them all in together. Like it's perfect.
yeah, I completely agree. You've got a 2nd-year quarterback. You're trying to make his life easier. He was running around a lot last year. I think like throughout the season, a lot of us were saying their offensive line wasn't as bad as it was made out to be, but the interior offensive line was clearly a weakness. And like you said, they made huge upgrades.
They couldn't run the ball.
There.
Nice.
Right, they couldn't run the ball, and that's always hard on a quarterback too. So,
They made another move. I forgot about this one because it was a bit of an overpay, but they signed Dio Odeyingbo, edge from the Colts for like 16 mil a year.
Yeah, it was a fat bag.
I'm
They
be
gave
honest,
him a little bit of a
didn't know how
bag.
to say his name, so I didn't mention it. But
It was a fat bag, but shit.
He's a good player. He's solid.
I mean, they're key moves to the offseason were the trenches on both sides of the ball. Like, you could never
that's the Eagles.
never be
Yeah,
mad
go
at a
wrong.
team for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
You had Grady Jarrett and Dio to play alongside
Dio.
Montez Sweat. Like, that's a respectable group of pass
For sure,
rushers.
yeah.
So better than what they
Yeah.
had.
Like you said, the Bears saw their weaknesses and sent everything at them. So that's always good.
Yeah, they did.
Let's see. Bengals didn't really do much. They franchise tagged T. Higgins.
They
again
signed B.J. Hill.
re-signed
They
B.J.
made a
Hill,
few
Mike
moves.
Gesicki.
They signed a few free agents. I forgot who, but they signed a few.
No, they just
They
really
retained-
brought guys back.
Yeah, they retained more than they signed.
They didn't do much.
Browns traded for Kenny Pickett.
Shout out to him.
Shout out to him.
Howie Roseman masterclass, bro.
Myles Garrett, 4 years, $160 million.
Like, this dude, Howie Roseman, got DTR, who, granted, he's ass, but he's young. Maybe he has some potential.
Sure.
And a 5th-round pick for Kenny fucking Pickett.
Yep.
It's a masterclass by Howie.
It really is.
How much did they pay for Kenny Pickett though? Didn't they give up like a 3rd-round pick or something?
No,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
definitely not a third.
They did not give up a third
No
for
way.
Kenny Pickett. Tell you that much. If they did, that
Yeah.
would be real bad.
My favorite team to talk about in free agency every year is the Dallas Cowboys because they don't do a fucking thing. They retained, I don't know how to say his last name, but the interior D lineman Osa.
Biggie Zua, that was a big
Yep,
move.
4 years, $80 million. And they signed Javonte Williams. You guys have all seen the stat
Yep.
that they haven't signed
Yep.
a free agent for more than $6 million since Greg Hardy in 2015.
How much did they pay Javante?
$3 million.
Oh,
No,
nice.
1 year, $3 million. They're keeping the streak alive. Good job, Jerry.
Man,
Classic Cowboys.
you gotta love it, man. You gotta love it.
Denver Broncos made some good moves.
They really
Signed
did.
DJ Jones, signed Talanoa Hufanga, 3 years, 45. Dre Greenlaw, 3 years, 35, and Matt Pearl, 2 years.
They
75.
raided the Niners.
Yeah, they really
The
did.
Eagles did pay a 3rd-round pick.
Wow.
Did they really?
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy.
Broncos, they just signed P. Riley Dixon.
Punter right.
Hunter Riley. P. Riley.
Yo, it's mad funny. I saw the clip from Ted this morning when I was scrolling on Reels when the girl
Sorry,
was
Nick.
talking about
Sam L. Jackson.
No,
Nick.
it was
F. Scott Fitzgerald.
F. Scott Fitzgerald. What is Scott Fitzgerald? They were like, clearly it stands for fuck. He's trying to hide it. That's why it's not saying it, and they're saying F. He's trying to hide it behind.
What's his name? So what does the F stand for? Francis. No, it's fuck. It's got to be fuck. Oh, it's fucking awesome.
P. Riley Dixon.
P. Riley
That's good.
Dixon.
Shout out to Broncos.
Shout out to Broncos.
No, absolute home runs.
Yeah.
Home runs.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
I don't know about home runs, but
listen,
yes.
man, these guys have an injury history, sure, but if the contracts are what they are, like I feel like they're fine value wise, and it's not a steal or a bargain, but I don't think it's overpay either. But bro, if one of these guys hits, then it'll completely change life. I mean, this is already a top 5 defense in the NFL, and
Yeah.
their biggest weaknesses were a coverage linebacker and a safety. So, like, if one of these guys hits, it'll help this defense be even greater than they already are. Home runs.
Yeah, I just think I wonder what the guarantees are. Do you have that? there
Doesn't
too,
give me
or no?
that.
Look, Hufanga was a All-Pro 2 years ago. Don't get me wrong, I think he's great. And Dre Greenlaw, when he was healthy, before a freak accident happens, one of the best linebackers in the NFL too. I get it. It's just, like there's always the fear that the injury, like Hufanga, I don't think has played a single healthy season in full so far in
Yeah,
his career. But
The thing is, like, these are luxuries for them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, this is already a top 5 defense in the NFL, top 8 at worst.
That's a good point.
So, like, That's what I'm saying. You just need one of these guys to hit, and then we're probably looking at this as the best defense in the NFL. It's that simple.
That's
I
the
need
point.
I need them to make some moves on the other side of the ball though. That run game was atrocious.
For sure.
I'm sure they'll address that in the draft. I'm sure they'll draft it.
Yeah, I think it's pretty clear that that's their strategy. Like the defense is good. You know, you could always use a few depth pieces, but I'd be shocked if their first 3 picks aren't all offense in this draft.
Agreed.
So
Broncos.
B plus.
I know Dean said you're supposed to save the A pluses for the marquee guys, but overall for the Broncos, like this is an A plus. I think individually I'll give each move an A just because they aren't the marquee guys.
Sure.
But like getting both of those guys is an A plus.
I'll go A minus.
Go
I
ahead.
like it. There's a little
A.
an A. Yeah. There's a little injury scare, but I like it overall. Let's see. Detroit Lions bring in DJ Reed, 3 years, $48 million.
Loved it. I thought he was going to be way more expensive. Considering the corner market, I thought he was going to get way more. Honestly, don't know why the Jets didn't bring him back at that price. Considering they paid.
What was that average out?
Bro, I don't think he wanted to be back.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, I mean replacing Carlton
try,
Davis
so.
with DJ Reed for cheaper money is. I mean, DJ Reed's probably a better player than Carlton Davis, so like it's a home run. I'm not the biggest DJ Reed fan, but like given the value of the contract, it's a home run.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I
I
agree.
I-
Better
I
than
loved
Carlton
it.
Davis.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
For 16 mil a year compared to the corners all getting 18 plus so far. I mean, yeah,
What did Carlton Davis get? He
20
got
mil a year, 3 for 60.
How did that even happen?
Patriots.
Patriots.
They had a lot of money. We'll get there. They retained Derek Barnes too, the Lions. So
That's a
Marcus
move, too.
Davenport, solid moves all around.
What do we give them?
Yeah,
A.
I'll give him an A for DJ Reed. I mean, there wasn't many better options
Give it
in
a
terms
B
of.
plus.
Probably
Value.
one of the better value contracts.
Yeah.
Probably.
Just gonna keep giving B pluses.
Yeah.
I mean, given the value, I feel like you at least have to give this an A minus.
You got to grade who's the value of the contract, the player, and the talent.
And
obviously.
considering who
else
they
was available.
lost
Right,
and
yeah.
what he got paid, like I feel like it has to at least be an A minus.
I just wish this is kind of a weird nitpicking thing, but I wish they brought back Zadarius Smith just on like a cheap vet deal. You need.
I don't even think. I think they
edge
cut him. Like I don't
They
even.
did.
Yeah.
like, yeah. I don't know. I wish they brought him back, but
He just burped.
whoa, that was so aggressive. You moved the fucking couch.
Did I?
Yes.
Next up, we got the Green Bay Packers paid Nate Hobbs 4 years, $48 million. I didn't even know that happened. And Aaron Banks 4 years, $77 million. So a lot of people were, I'll say, indifferent about the Aaron Banks signing. He was from San Francisco, right? Guard from
Yep.
San Francisco.
He's a good guard.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. So Nate Hobbs I like Nate Hobbs a lot. I think he's a really good corner, so I like that move. He got $16 million guaranteed though, not a ton. I'm trying to see what the guaranteed money was on
Especially
Banks.
because they're
but it won't tell.
trading Jair. Probably.
Yeah.
Seems like
Jair
they're
is probably
leading
yeah.
leaning in that direction.
Yeah. I like Nate Hobbs. I think Nate Hobbs is underrated. I think he's a solid player. They paid Banks a lot of money.
A lot
A lot of
of
money.
money
So
for a guard.
I'll go with it. I don't want to keep handing out B pluses either, but I'll go with a B. They were good, not great. I feel.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with a B minus, or rather a C plus. I think both players are solid. I just question the value of the contract.
Yeah.
But they fit needs.
Yeah.
I mean, Aaron Banks that's an overpay. He's an average guard at best. He didn't get paid like an average guard.
I'm not too familiar with
he
these
got
games,
paid
so
with-
I'm
He's
gonna-
a-
I'm
Me
gonna
neither.
take
I'm
the
going to call it
casual.
a B minus.
Yeah.
He's a slightly above average guard.
I think
Slightly.
he's below average, if anything. If on the average spectrum, if we have to go above or below, he's below, and I think he got paid like a.
He got
He
paid.
definitely got
above
paid. He
average.
definitely got paid like a really good player.
Yeah, got paid
That
way
I
too
will
much
say,
money.
that's almost $20
His
million a
PFF
year.
grades were like 65s, which
Yeah,
is like
which is
okay.
I mean,
like,
what
it's
did
not
Robert
great.
Hunt get? He got about the same thing, right? 4 years, 80 from the Panthers.
4 years. I think it was actually 4 years, 80 on the money.
Was
But
Robert-
Robert Hunt was a little better.
He was better than Banks. That's what I would
better
ask.
player.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, Robert Hunt was actually
a
really good.
much
Yeah.
better
that's
player,
what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's In an inflated market, though, it's still seems like a bit of an overpay. But
It's a lot of money.
you got a letter.
C.
Yeah,
I really didn't
C
like
plus,
this move.
Yeah, I still think
C minus, honestly.
I still think they need an edge rusher and a receiver. So I'm really
Don't
hoping
understand why they haven't traded for Trey.
Yeah, I mean,
Feels like the most obvious move.
Maybe because he's not really getting shopped.
He's getting
he's
shot.
definitely getting chopped.
He
The
is
Bengals
getting
do
shot.
not pay players. I
My sources tell me he's
Yeah, I was
getting
gonna say,
shot.
how do you know? Are you talking to them?
Bro, they're
I-
the Bengals. They don't pay people. So
All right. So next up, the Texans traded for Christian Kirk, which I would imagine means Diggs is gone,
yeah,
right? Okay.
wonder where he goes.
And who did I say? And I just traded for C.J. Gardner-Johnson before the pod. And what else? Let's see. They
The
re-signed.
biggest move.
They got rid of.
What am I missing? Oh, oh yeah, shit. It doesn't say it here. That's why. They obviously traded Laramie Tunzel to the Washington Commanders.
Ooh, I like that. Laramie.
Why? What is it?
I feel like it's
Oh, it's Laramie? I like
but
Laramie.
I like Laramie.
I like Laramie.
Laramie.
I think that's fire,
I like
bro.
that.
Put a little pizzazz on
Yeah,
that.
put a little zest
I
on
like
it.
that.
Yo, consider changing your name.
I'm rocking with it.
Yeah, I
Laramie
like that.
3.
I like that. Yo, the Laramie 3.
Came up with a new one, bro. Shout out Pete, bro.
Shout out Pete
Shifty,
again.
bro. Came up with the fuck you.
Shout out.
Yo, he like created this thing called the fuck you 3. So,
You didn't clip that, bro. I'm so upset.
I
you
have
didn't.
it. I have the clip.
You
I have,
didn't
like, the
post it?
single
I think you
clip
sent it
on
to
my
us.
phone. Yeah.
No.
I
You need to
didn't
post it
post
on
it.
TikTok. Yeah.
It's just like they don't know who Shifty is.
They don't. They
Like,
don't
I don't
get
know
it.
if
They
they're
don't
gonna
get the
find it
war.
as funny as we
They don't
found
get the
it.
war, bro.
So the trade was I'm sticking with it. The Texans traded Laramie Tunzel to the Commanders for a
He
25
played the middle
fourth,
there. He played the middle. He didn't
Yeah.
want to say it.
a 25 fourth, 25 third, a 25 seventh, a 26 second, and a 26 fourth. So they
What?
No, I'm just laughing.
I mean, they got a lot of draft capital, but why would you trade your franchise left tackle
On a-
for draft capital?
on an offensive line that was really
Already
bad.
really bad.
I mean, Texans fans were not too happy with him. I will say.
I know, that's what I was
seen
gonna say, yeah.
I've seen a reaction. People aren't too fond of him because he gets a lot of penalties. But it's like, dude, like he's one of the best in the league in terms of like not allowing pressure. So he's
What are your options also?
right.
This was a home run for one side, and an absolute strikeout for the other. This is you're the Texans. You're a Super Bowl contender, or at least that's what you're trying to be, and then you go ahead and you trade a franchise left tackle. I don't give a shit what draft picks you get back. It's a rough one, and they really didn't do anything outside of that. So congrats, Christian Kirk. Like,
Yeah, I mean, you traded away your franchise left tackle, one of the best in the game, and did nothing to replace him or strengthen your offensive line, which was probably their worst asset last year. So,
Yeah, I don't understand. I just don't understand it.
was he that much of a cap hit? But even then, like,
It
what'd
doesn't
you do
matter
with it?
because
Like,
you're
you
not
didn't spend
you're
any of
not
the money.
paying
Like,
Stroud yet. Like
Yeah,
this is when you're
exactly.
supposed to be okay
yeah,
with paying
spending
guys.
everything,
Like
yeah.
so I don't.
and it's so because like last year they spent a shit ton of money
Yeah.
in free agents. They went crazy. in
Yeah, I
free
don't know
agency.
what the thought process is on that one.
I did see a lot of people saying he was like I don't
Penalty
like to use
management.
that and then a locker room cancer. Like a lot of people said he had locker room issues. I don't know how true that is. I just
Tunsil?
saw, yeah. I don't know how true that is. That's just what I saw, sources.
I have no idea, honestly.
I don't know Laramie.
All I know is he's really good on the football.
He is really good on the football
really
field.
good on
yeah.
the football field, and that's really all that matters in the end. This is a D minus,
Yeah, I'll go D.
very close to. Honestly, no, I'm just giving it an F
Just
Giving it
their offseason or just
as a
this
whole.
move?
Because what else have they done? They got.
Yeah, I
Christian
mean this is
Kirk.
really all they've done.
Yeah.
I
They
guess their
retained a couple
off-season
They
guys.
got
has-
C.J. Gardner Johnson.
replace
They got
Yeah.
Sheldon Rankins.
Replacing
guess
Tank
that-
Dell and
Wait, they got Sheldon
Stephon
Rankins?
with
They got Sheldon
Christian
Rankins, yeah. Daryl Taylor.
Oh, that
and they-
makes it an A.
Yeah, and they signed Braxton Berrios and Justin Watson.
They did sign Braxton Berrios.
Oh, that does make
my
it an A.
girlfriend told me about that.
Wow.
She said, Did you see Braxton Berrios went to a new team? I was like, nah. She's like, yeah. Do you think he's gonna be good? I'm like,
No.
probably not. And she said,
Absolutely not.
She said, She said, well, I saw in the TikTok comments that they said he should get more of a chance here on this new team because he was on the Dolphins. They didn't have room for him, so maybe he'll be good. I said, maybe.
I think this team has even less room for him.
No,
No, they got room for him.
They got comfortably 3 wide receivers out of him.
Who?
Who the fuck
Nico, Kirk, and Tank.
Tank's
out
gone
forever.
forever.
Oh, is he really?
Rest in
gone
peace.
for
His
forever.
knees like absolutely tear to shreds.
Yeah.
I
Torn
got
to
Justin
shreds.
Watson.
They got Mechie.
Did they?
They have.
They do have Justin Watson, yeah.
Since when?
They just signed him. I said
They have
that.
Xavier Hutchinson. They have John Mechie. These
think
guys are probably ahead of
Mechie's
Braxton.
good.
I like
knows?
Mechie.
He's better
Maybe
than Braxton.
I mean, if we're debating the
overall.
skill of Braxton Berrios, I think it's time to move on. No, Like-
He's probably gonna
yeah.
get cut before the season starts.
I'll give it because I like the
Nah,
other
he'll
moves
be a
kind of.
kick returner
I'll
at
give it a
worst.
D.
No,
Okay.
you can't even do that.
He could
Wait, what
return
are you talking?
kicks.
Braxton?
I said he's gonna get cut before the season starts.
2 years ago, they made a Madden card for him, a Team of the Year card.
If this is justification,
Wait, no, but listen, he was the Team of the Year kick returner,
Okay,
so he was good at kick returning.
2 years ago,
What happened? He
He's
was hurt.
old.
He was hurt last year.
he's out of
Is
his
he old?
prime.
He was hurt. He's not that old.
What was he like?
He was hurt.
30?
No,
it's like 27.
he was
28.
hurt last year.
It's way too much.
This is
Braxton
too much
Berrios screen
Braxton
time.
Berrios.
I mean,
Way
we're
too
probably
much.
hitting like a
He's
target
20 he's
audience.
29.
So
He's
the
gonna be
girls
30.
love
Sure,
Braxton
yeah, all right.
Berrios.
Girls do a
He's
Braxton.
gonna be 30 when the season starts.
Give my boy
Wow.
a shot. Give
He's
Braxton
old,
a shot.
bruh.
No, don't give
him a
Braxton a.
chance.
I mean,
Give him a chance.
let him return kicks. I guess.
No,
but, like,
don't even let him do that.
what do you? What is your
What's your
beef
problem
with
with him?
Braxton?
Braxton
Berrios?
Berrios. So the Jets were versing the Vikings in 2020,
Oh, I know.
Two.
I remember this.
late in the season, and Braxton Berrios dropped a touchdown that would have
Yeah.
sent the Jets to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Okay, so I get why you
Hate him.
vehemently dislike this man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's actually a part owner of this coffee shop that I go to,
Oh, so you're supporting him?
I guess. He said just show up.
He wrote that.
No.
Signed Braxton Berrios. All right, moving on.
Wait, what do we give it? I give it.
I
a D.
said a D.
I'll go D minus. Would be an F. Like, wait, the move or the Texans as a
No,
whole?
the Texans as a whole.
D minus would be an F, but bringing
Braxton Berrios.
bringing in Braxton Berrios bumps it up to a D
Adds
minus.
aura.
Yeah.
That's good.
It adds aura.
All right.
Yeah, D+.
So next up, we've got the
Fuck you,
Fuck
Dave.
it. B plus. B for Braxton.
just show up. B for Braxton.
Just show
Triple
up.
B's. All right. Next up, we've got the Indianapolis Colts. They signed safety Cam Bynum, 4 years, $60 million. Charvarius Ward, 3 years, $60 million, and Daniel Jones, 1 year, $14 million.
A
W. W.
I
for
think
the
plus,
Colts.
plus,
I think
plus,
so too.
plus.
I mean, the Colts. I'll start here.
You
The
got
Colts.
the best quarterback on your roster now.
Yeah, I mean, the Colts last
He is
year
the best quarterback.
had a horrible run defense, run and pass. They had one of the worst. They had a bad culture. You know, they had their quarterback quit midseason. Like that whole thing happened. They had one of the worst quarterback situations in football, and they won 8 games. They were in the playoff hunt for pretty much the entire season until they let the Giants blow their backs out in Week 17.
God,
Oh my God, that hurt, bro.
bro,
So-
that
it was-
lost me
Bro,
so
the Colts
much
money line
money.
was supposed to be a lock
Yep.
that day, bro.
That lost me like $2,000.
So again, all that being said, they won 8 games, and now they bring in Cam Bynum and Charvarius Ward in that secondary, 2 really good players. Charvarius Ward has been noted for his leadership, his work ethic, and that's exactly the kind of guy that the Colts need back there. And Daniel Jones, listen, I don't know what to say. I honestly,
not?
He's
I don't
the
hate
next
it. I really
reclamation
don't hate it.
project.
Like,
I think
He's the next.
I don't hate
I think
at
him
all.
being in a QB competition, the both of them, A-Rich and Daniel Jones, one of them's got to get better than the other
right. Yeah, I mean,
one. One of them's got to
know,
get better than the
You would
other
hope
one.
it's the 23-year-old, right?
Hopefully, well, he's still 22.
Oh, the 22-year-old.
Yep.
Sorry.
One of them's got to be better.
yeah,
I mean, great moves, so.
I think so. Yeah,
Phenomenal moves.
And
I
Cam
feel like.
Bynum,
Cam Bynum is a dog.
he's
bro.
awesome.
Like,
Yeah.
he has aura. He's a good locker
Does have
room
aura.
guy, bro. He made all the dances for the Vikings last year. Like he's
that's exactly what the Colts.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. He'll bring leadership from, and he's a young guy too. But like we know he's a good vibes guy and a good football player at that too. And then Charvarius Ward's a true shutdown #1 corner. So it's
on top
for a-
of all those. Yeah, he
yeah,
has those
for a
same-
weak secondary, I think it was great moves. I mean,
Yeah.
that's probably, other than quarterback, that was probably their biggest weakness. Losing Ryan Kelly hurts
That's
a
what I
little
was about
bit.
to say.
but-
And Will Fries.
Yeah,
They
Still got a good
got
offensive
raided
line.
on the O line. That's
Yeah.
the problem.
They
But,
reworked Braden Smith. They still got Quentin Nelson.
Will Fries. And his brother Bill Burger. What an unserious name.
Will Fries.
brother Bill Burger. Did you just come up with that on the spot?
Yeah.
I hope so.
That
I
was
hope he
actually
didn't
pretty
fucking
funny.
plan it.
I like that. That was funny. I like that.
Oh, my
that was
God.
a good one. It's a B- off season. It's a B off season for me.
I go B plus. I think they're in a pretty weak division, and I mean the Texans just got worse.
Yep.
And they were still competing with them.
Jags are the Jags.
Yeah, Jags are the Jags, Titans are the Titans. So they could totally
win the
They could win the
division.
fucking division.
They could totally win the division. Win the division. They can totally win the division as it stands right now with Daniel Jones at quarterback. So like if A-Rich, shows a little improvement or Daniel Jones shows some improvement,
They could run the dual QB.
And I mean, a lot of people
Lord.
have them like just while we're on the Colts. A lot of people mock them to draft a tight end and say that's their biggest hole right now, which would be cool. But I feel like the Colts after this free agency period are kind of in a position where they need quarterback. I guess like that's their biggest need,
sure.
but they're obviously not gonna draft one.
Not
They're gonna
14.
they're gonna see this through, but. Other than that, I feel like they're in a position where they could draft best player available throughout the draft. Like
Sure.
I don't feel like they have a position group where they're really weak. It would have been the secondary, but they kind of just shored that up. So I think that's always a great position to be in, where you don't have necessarily to pigeonhole yourself to one position group in the draft. You could kind of just draft the best players available. So
Yeah.
I
think
like
they're
the
in a
Tyler
good spot.
Warren. Everybody has a
Yeah,
lot of
yeah.
people have Tyler Warren
Yeah.
going to Indy. I like that for them.
Makes
I think
sense,
that changes
yeah.
their offense a lot. I think Tyler Warren's pretty dynamic
Yeah.
as a tight end.
is he the Penn State guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Stud.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah.
Loveland's also really good, but I think Tyler Warren's just better.
I don't know. I think it's close. They're both great prospects, though.
All right. So moving on, Jack's actually made a bunch of signings. Not any like marquee names. Patrick McCarry.
Macari. It's a
Yeah,
good
3 years, 37. Jordan Lewis, 3 years, 30. Eric Murray, 3 years, 22.
Eric Murray.
Yo, Sleazy broke the Eric Murray news in the group chat, bro. It's like, dude, we don't got to send everything, bro. Eric Murray was crazy. All the other ones were fine, but
Yeah.
Eric Murray, I said something. I'm like, bro, why are we breaking the Eric Murray news in the group
I
chat,
love
bro?
that he sent almost all of them.
Everyone.
And just would send the tweet and leave it.
No,
And
no
it's
As
like-
comment.
if we don't see it.
It's
No,
like,
yeah.
bro,
Like,
not only am I
refreshing
seeing
Twitter, bro.
I know,
Yeah.
and it's like not only am I seeing the tweet that you're sending the screenshot of, I'm seeing the 5 other notifications I'm getting, and I'm seeing those same 5 notifications twice because I have the same fucking notifications on
Yep.
the BallGame
Right, I
account.
get 2
I'm
tweets. Yeah, 2 tweets. I
Everything
get a
like
couple
5
ESPN
times.
notifications.
Bleacher
Yeah,
Report,
Bleacher
Sleeper.
Report.
Sleeper, yeah.
And then like 5 minutes later, one of the ESPN apps like,
Yeah.
it's
Thank
way
you,
too late on
Sleazy.
it. Thank you, O Sleazy. What would we do without you?
Where did Eric Murray come from?
Texans, I think.
Couldn't tell you. I just read his name.
What position does he play?
Safety.
Safety.
Okay. I don't even know who that is.
That's what I'm saying.
De'Ami
That's
Brown.
why I
They
was
got
so
De'Ami
shocked
Brown.
that
I like
O'Sleazy
that.
broke that one, bro. I'm like, who the fuck is Eric Murray?
Like, do you even know who Eric Murray is?
He definitely has no idea who Eric Murray is. You don't have to grade it. I was just reading it
Yeah,
out.
just moves.
They just made a lot of moves,
Yeah,
so I
I
felt
mean,
like I had to mention them.
C plus.
Yeah,
Sure.
C plus, solid moves along the edges, nothing game changing. But I
Lost
mean,
Andre Cisco.
yeah,
Yeah,
this is a team that needed some talent, like backup level talent, starter
Yeah.
level talent. They just needed talent. So
they cut Evan
Cool.
Ingram, which I thought was.
Cut
they
Evan
saved a lot
I
of
like
money.
And they
Brent
traded
Strange,
Christian
though.
Kirk.
Yeah.
I think Strange is good
They
enough.
I think Strange is cool.
they have faith in Strange. They've obviously if they cut him.
I don't
I
know.
like
They-
the
they
De'Ami
Strange
Brown
faith.
breakout. You heard it here. Kansas City Chiefs franchise tag Trey Smith, re-signed Nick Bolton 3 years, 45, re-signed Hollywood Brown, and they signed Jalen Moore, offensive tackle from I think San Francisco, also right?
They brought in Elijah Mitchell too.
Yeah, Elijah
I
Mitchell.
love that.
Yep.
I think that's cool. I think he's a guy who just adds, if he's healthy, like adds a burst to their backfield that they didn't have with Kareem Hunt and Isaiah Pacheco.
I think
So
they're going to draft a running back,
Yeah,
too.
yeah, I think so too. But solid. It's the Chiefs. You know what I mean?
Gotta
They're-
have faith.
Yeah,
I actually really like the Jalen Moore signing.
Yeah.
yeah. And you just got to figure like a team like this with Super Bowl pedigree is always going to lose guys. You know what I mean?
They're
Like,
still gonna roll out Jawan Taylor though. I hate it. I'm glad they brought back Nick Bolton because there was some talks of him not coming back, but
Is Juwan Taylor bad? He's not bad. He just commits a lot of
he
penalties.
commits a ton of penalties.
Yeah,
The most, maybe,
Yes.
right?
always the most. Always the most.
Bro's always 6 inches behind.
Yes. Yes.
Always. Yep.
I don't know about that in certain areas, but
Yeah, I mean
Alrighty
he was fine though. He wasn't the
He's always 6 inches behind.
probably 6 inches ahead of you, Dean. We're being honest.
He's probably always like 8 inches behind.
13.
I don't know how to get us out of this. You guys gotta wrap this up whenever you're ready. I'll move on.
Yeah, shout out Juwan, bro.
Shout out Juwan.
Shout out Juwan and his.
Shout out his massive.
13.
Anyway, the Raiders we talked about. The Chargers re-signed Khalil Mack, brought in Dante Jackson and Najee Harris. And J.K. Dobbins still out there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
Alright.
is not signed.
Pretty sad
I'm
because
so sad about
I talked
that.
to my boy, I have a source. He's a draft expert. His name's Jason Pickles. I asked him. I said, now that the Chargers signed Najee Harris, does that mean Omari and Hampton in the first round is off the table for them? And he said, absolutely. There's no way they draft running back in the first round now. So
I've Najee and
I don't think
Dynasty.
that's necessarily
Not in the
true.
first.
I know
Not in the
you got
first.
it. It's Jason Pickles.
Yeah.
Not in the first. You don't think they're taking a running back in the first round after
I mean,
that?
Omari and Hampton's one of the best running back prospects in the last 5 years.
Give him $9 million though. Like it's
They
only
gave
a 1
him
year
a
deal,
bag.
but like they paid him. Like
What is it, 1 year?
yeah, but like
It's a 1 year deal.
9
yeah,
years?
but like they're not.
Yeah, but
they're still not going to draft a running back in the first.
9 years for a running back is insane.
9 years.
9 years.
$9 million.
Cap
$9
hell.
million. You got
Forget it,
fucking
bro.
36-year-old Najee Harris.
Oh,
rolling
man.
out there.
36-year-old averaging 1.5
Bro, they might
yards
have to.
per
They might have to
carry.
wheel him out there.
Oh,
So
my God.
Najee has played every game. in
Every
his
game,
career.
I saw that.
I saw it. It's pretty amazing.
Durable
what
as
he's
hell,
been
yeah.
able
No,
to
that's
do.
pretty impressive for a running back. That's
Yeah.
super
Yeah.
impressive.
Especially with the amount of touches he gets. Too.
Yeah.
Like,
Would you rather Ken Walker, who's like always hurt, or Najee, who plays every game?
give me Najee.
Easily, Ken Walker.
Wow.
It's a good question.
Like Ken Walker's clearly better. by a lot,
Yeah.
But he's also never really fully healthy every
He
year.
plays like 6 games a season.
But Najee's always healthy, but is mid.
maybe worse than mid.
Hey,
I think he's just
Respect
mid.
Najee.
I think Najee gets the respect of mid.
good pass catchers.
Najee's like the PJ Washington of the NFL before
He's like
PJ
Mikal
went to the Mavs. Oh, I'd take Najee, I guess. Playing every game is pretty valuable.
a
Watch,
running back?
Najee's going to have a freaking season-ending injury in preseason week
He's gonna
1
miss
now.
his first game
Nah,
with the Chargers.
I think that's a good move for them. No, it takes them out of the first round running back market. They're
Probably.
not-
Najee's
for
a
sure.
hardball guy, too.
Yes,
Yeah,
sure.
yeah,
so.
yeah.
100%.
Where does JK go? The Steelers?
He could go back.
He could totally go back.
Yeah.
Still makes a lot of sense for him to go back. You said they signed Dante Jackson
Mm-hmm.
and they got Khalil Mack back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whatever.
Cool, right?
They're losing Christian Fulton.
Losing
Josh
Josh
Palmer.
Samuel's still out there too. Josh Palmer's gone.
Yeah.
I would
They
have
also signed-
expected
oh,
them
they
to be a little bit more active.
Yeah.
Me too.
So pretty overall for the Chargers, pretty disappointing.
Still haven't gotten a wide receiver, which everyone is kind of waiting for that ball to drop. But
Yeah, I feel like I thought they were going to be more in like I thought they were going to get Devontae Adams. I know he went to the Rams. Obviously, you know they might be in the market for Cooper Kupp.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
They might draft a receiver.
Wow.
We'll see.
Cup and Lad.
just fucking
The exciting
Spider-Man
whites.
meme. Like
The exciting whites, but Los Angeles version.
Yeah.
I mean, they need something. Who's even out there for them still?
Diggs.
Diggs, but Diggs coming off an ACL. Like, is that really attractive? Not really.
There
I mean,
are
for
many
the-
options
More
out
attractive
there,
than
brother.
Quentin Johnston.
Al-
You know what they
Al
say about the
Lazard.
Coco, right?
About
They might get it for the low.
okay.
All right, next team.
If they get Diggs for
They
the
get like
low,
they get like a C minus.
Yeah.
I'd go with a D
Yeah,
for them.
I agree. I'd go for
Yeah.
a D. It's
They
D
really
plus.
didn't make any moves.
Yeah, they really
and this is a
didn't.
team that they have a lot of cap room too, right? Like this is a team that
Yeah.
They have a
was
lot.
supposed to be in play for everyone, and they did a whole lot of nothing.
I mean,
so.
they haven't even spent Joey Bosa's salary yet. Like they
yeah.
cut
I
him.
mean, like if Najee Harris is the highlight of your free agency, like it has to be a D. I'm
That's a
sorry.
problem.
Yeah.
yeah, it's
There's no
it's a big
highlight of
deal.
anything.
Yeah.
If 3
So,
yards
I'm
a
sorry,
carry
Najee.
really-
like I
Yeah.
don't want to be rude, but
I don't think Najee's taking it personal, bro.
Let's see. Rams talked about Devontae. They also signed Poona Ford. That's pretty pretty good. Yeah. The Dolphins
nice.
signed James Daniels to a 3-year, $24 million deal, and Zach Wilson to be their backup, 1 year, $6 million.
That's so bad
Zach Wilson is gonna love Miami.
because when you have a quarterback that has like a
Prospects
slushy for a
everywhere.
brain,
Oh my
Like-
god!
What did you just say?
he said when you have a quarterback that has a slushy for a brain, bro. Like
The one
having
thing you
Zach
don't want behind
Wilson,
him is another quarterback with a slow.
right? Having Zach Wilson as your back, like Gardner Minshew's out there. There's like a couple backup QB
You'd rather
options
have
that are not Zach Wilson.
No, but Zach has a cannon, and you have
Okay,
fast
let's hold
receivers.
on. But when you know that your quarterback's
I see
Good-
what you
good
mean.
for
Like
missing
you
2-3
want to invest
games.
in your backup quarterback position.
right, Zach Wilson's
Yes.
not the answer.
I think Zach's a good backup quarterback to have.
What?
Yo, he went toe to toe with Mahomes that one time.
Oh my
When was
God,
he ever
bro.
a good
Never let
quarterback
you-
He went
ever?
toe to toe with Mahomes
Jet
that
fans
one
will never
time.
let you
Relax.
live that-
I think
would
he's
never
going to
let
be a
us
good backup
forget that.
quarterback because he
couldn't- he couldn't-
He just had a year where he got to sit in the Sean Payton system and just learn
But he was a third stringer.
Oh, Knicks.
He learned
from Bo. He learned from Bo. What? He was a third string.
I like
Yeah,
the
still
James
learning
Daniel
from Sean
signing.
Payton.
Yeah, it's a good move.
They needed that.
Yeah.
What?
The James Daniel
But y'all had
signing.
a rough free agency in general, though.
Oh yeah, Chris Gear's scared to
Not doing
spend
shit.
money
Yeah, no,
on
they don't
this.
do
I don't know.
They'll probably take another fast running back in the draft.
Yeah, like
I mean, we
Another fast running back.
Travion Henderson is a Dolphin.
we really, really, really need a safety. Like now that Javon Allen's gone, so
You think Tyreek Hill's getting traded?
No.
Probably not, right?
he loves Miami too much, bro. Like the lifestyle. You know what I mean?
I wonder
Yeah.
what he loves about
You
Miami.
think it's really his decision, though?
I mean, no, but
Well, Chris Greer don't do shit.
yeah,
so.
I mean, Chris Gear.
he's asleep at the wheel, just like
content
Pat
with being
Riley,
content.
bro.
There for
Yeah.
vibes.
Yeah, I mean,
All right. So
D.
yeah.
you got all these dudes to restructure their contracts and shit, and did nothing. Like I don't.
F.
Just lost.
Weird.
Javon
F.
Holland.
Yeah.
You got
F.
Zach Wilson.
F.
F.
What the fuck have they done? Yeah.
Tron
F.
Armstead took such a freaking big fat pay cut, and you
Big
did
pay
nothing,
cut.
bro. Like,
It's a slap.
if anything, you might as well give the dude his money, bro. Like, the fuck?
Give him his money.
Yeah.
Restructure
that
his
shit.
contract. Restructure his
Structure
contract.
it.
I'm fucking, bro. If I'm Armstead, I'm pissed, bro.
First ever structured contract in NFL history.
I'm pissed, bro. Like, I gave back all that money for you to fucking make this team good, and you did not. You brought in James Daniels and Zach Wilson,
Yup.
bro.
Zach Wilson.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
All right.
bad.
Better than
bad.
Skylar Thompson.
Yeah.
Anything's better than Skylar Thompson.
Yeah.
That is true. All right. Moving on to better things. The Minnesota Vikings retained Byron Murphy, 3 years, $66 million. Re-signed Aaron Jones, 2 years, 20. Brought in Ryan Kelly, 2 years, 18. That's a phenomenal deal.
Insane.
Isaiah Rodgers, 2 years, 15.
That's
That's
my
our
boy.
boy.
Yeah, that's our
Shout
boy.
out
That's our
boy.
boy.
That is our boy, yeah.
But don't like bread.
Am I missing anything? I feel like there was
Yeah, Will Fries.
Or steak.
Will Fry- oh, that wasn't updated yet. Yeah, they brought in Will
pretty
Fries. I
weird.
don't know what the contract was, but
That's pretty weird.
It was pretty weird, bro.
It is.
It was
That's pretty weird.
Bro, I was just so bamboozled, bro. Bro, think about
When
it.
he
It's
did
my,
the interview with
bro,
Isaiah
it's my
Rodgers.
first time
no.
ever talking to NFL players, and this dude tell me I don't like bread, cheese, or steak. What the fuck am I supposed to say?
pretty weird.
Come to think
I
about it.
don't like cheese. I don't like bread. I don't really like steak. That's pretty weird.
That's pretty weird.
That was pretty weird, bro.
All right.
Shout out my boy for getting paid,
Shout out
bro.
that. Yeah, Will Fries, 5 years, 88. And they brought in Jonathan Allen, 3 years, $60 million. And Javon Hargrave.
And Javon Hargrave.
So, yeah.
Insane.
This is an A++++.
Yeah, absolutely.
plus.
They
I mean,
all
how-
got the
season.
park.
How does Aaron Banks get the bag he gets, but then the Vikings are able to get two interior offensive linemen for way less? Like, I don't
Yeah.
understand. Two better players. Like, I don't understand.
Significantly better
Yeah.
players.
So how sure are we on like JJ McCarthy?
So that
'Cause
was
they're-
the only.
because they're
That was
going
my
into
only
the season
hesitance.
with- Unless
Right.
they're going to sign
They're
somebody
going to
else,
sign
obviously.
Kirk. They're going to sign Kirk.
You think
Not
so?
that that's a good thing, but they're going to sign Kirk.
So that's a lot of confidence in JJ, who's never played a snap in the NFL,
Yeah.
and Kirk, who's old and sucks.
Well, I mean, you drafted JJ 10th for a reason.
I would hate to see this great team fail because of quarterback play.
You don't think Rodgers is there?
Nah, I think it's going to be JJ.
He just told me Rodgers before we.
Definitely
I don't know.
said
but
Rodgers.
I know I did. I know I did. But
You know what I'm saying though? Like,
I think because of how great the team is, like around the quarterback, that JJ's leash is going to be super short. Whether that's like the right move or the wrong move, but like if they go into this year with JJ and he's, not that good and holding the team back, then next season when all the quarterbacks become available, because we know that clearly that's how it goes, a bunch of guys will be available. They'll be in the, conversation for whoever the top guy is that's available come next year. So
right. I feel like there's two ways to build a team. It's, you said it before about building around the quarterback. There's you get your guy and you build around him, or you build around and then find the guy to put in there, like Stafford.
Yeah, these dudes are loaded, bro.
Yeah.
Like they were arguably the best roster outside of quarterback last year, and they got significantly better in the trenches. Like,
yeah, they might have the best offensive line in football now.
It's probably the best
Eagles.
roster in football. Bro,
Getting Jonathan Allen was
their
crazy.
D-line is fucking
John
loaded.
Allen and Javon Hargrave. Both of them.
Just walked in the building. Like,
And then all those guys you have on the edge, bro. You have fucking Van Ginkel, who's fucking stud. You have
I think,
Grenard.
Grenard.
If Dallas Turner takes another step, like, holy shit, dude. That's
Yeah,
an
they are
insane fucking
loaded.
front, bro.
Harrison Smith's coming back and seems to.
You got Byron
Not
Murphy
ageless,
back, bro.
Doesn't age. Yeah.
Getting Byron Murphy back is huge. He's
The
a
only
Swiss
loss
Army
was can't
knife.
find him. That one hurts a little bit, but
They'll figure it out.
Safety's replaceable.
Yeah.
safety is the most replaceable. Yeah, it's an A++ offseason.
Yeah, they got a squad, bro.
agree.
They got a squad.
All right. Another team that I think hit it out of the park. You've got the New England Patriots. Brought in Milton Williams, 4 years, $104 million. Stole him from Carolina. That was pretty crazy.
Yeah, what the hell was that?
So I was watching McAfee when it happened, and they had
Announced
Rappaport
the-
on, and Rappaport was just going through the list of free agents. He was like, "Yeah, Milton Williams is still out there," and Pat was like, "Hold on, he signed with the Panthers," and Rappaport was like, "It's not done yet. It could." He's like, "It should be, but it's not done yet." And then, sure enough, he didn't go there. So Milton Williams, Carlton Davis, 3 years, 60. Harold Landry, 3 years, 43. Rob Spillane, 3 years, 37. Morgan Moses, 3 years, 24. Mac Hollins, Josh Dobbs.
did you see the Morgan Moses thing where Diana Rossini posted a graphic with Morgan Moses with the Patriots on Sunday and then deleted it immediately?
No,
No.
And then he
way.
signed with the Patriots the next day.
Wow.
No, I didn't see that.
So that was before the tampering period was legal. Diana Rossini put out like a Morgan Moses free agency post with the Patriots logo next to his name and then deleted it after like 2 seconds.
Oh, they're getting fined.
Yeah.
They're catching something now. There were some overpays.
They threw out a lot of money.
They threw out a lot of money.
I'm scared. Like the same vein of what I said about Josh Sweat before. I'm scared a little bit of the Milton Williams situation because again, like this is a guy that played 50% of the snaps last year, and now you're gonna go ahead and ask.
He got
him
a fat bag, dude.
You got a lot of money. And now you're gonna go ask him to play 80 to 90% of the snaps and be
26
the
million.
guy on a defensive line.
That's a lot of money, bro.
And then Carlton Davis, you paid him $20 million a year, 3 for 60, and better corners got less. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they had the money to throw around, and
and he hasn't played a single healthy season in his career so far. I think it's another guy, not one.
Yeah.
so he's got 34.5
I
guaranteed.
like
was
the
gonna say,
Carlton
yeah.
Davis side. I think when you have Christian Gonzalez, I think it's okay.
Oh, that's a sick duo.
Yeah.
It's a great duo, but it's just I don't know. There were other guys out there that went for cheaper, and I guess you're the Patriots, so you got to pay more. But
Yeah, no, I
you're
didn't
a
mind
shit
that.
team.
I mean, they
That's
got-
I mean, he
nice.
got the Charvarius Ward contract.
Which he
They
was
got the same contract.
Yeah.
but he's
not
as
sure.
good as-
No, that's my point.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
like
yeah,
they
yeah,
could have
Yeah.
I didn't even think of that. Like, why not just go get Ward?
Yeah, I mean they got some guys to for Vrabes to work with, but I don't know. Just because you have money doesn't mean you have to spend money. They threw out a lot of fucking money, dude.
I like Spillane a lot.
He's
I'm not gonna
cool.
lie,
He's
I like
cool.
Rob
Spillane
Spillane
good.
a lot. Spillane's a really good player. Morgan
Braves guy.
Moses. Morgan Moses was a great add to the offensive line. I thought
Yeah.
that was one of their better moves.
That's probably the move I like the most.
Me too.
They
100%.
desperately need some pass catching.
Yes.
Some pass
They'll
catching.
probably take Ted at 4.
Yeah.
Sign Cup
Said
and take
Cup.
Ted at 4.
Yeah, I mean they could not be done. I mean, listen. I respect being aggressive. I mean, these moves.
Yeah, they sucked. So yes.
Yeah, the Milton Williams could that could haunt you. For a year or two from now. Carlton Davis, it's 34.5 guaranteed. Like the rest of them are probably things that they can
Get
move
off
on
of
from
pretty
eventually pretty easily. But I think with those guys, those are quality players, and Vrabel, he'll put out a great defense, and then it's just what can you get on the other side of the ball? So,
Nothing.
yeah, you don't have shit on the other side of the ball. That's the problem right now. I'll go with. I'm teetering like B plus A minus because
They tried.
they
I give it
definitely
a B.
tried.
I give it a B.
I'll go B plus.
I was also gonna go B. I think they spent the money, which they should have. They're not, being the Chargers, asleep at the wheel. But would I have done exactly what they did? No. So I'll give it a B.
Yeah, I'm gonna go B too. I feel like it's an overpay for Milton Williams.
It
man.
probably is.
He's a great player.
They were
but I
clearly
feel like-
bidding against Carolina.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
just wonder how much.
I wish he
Carolina
went to
would go.
Carolina, bro. Maybe that's why I'm grading it a B, just because I wanted to see Milton Williams in Carolina, and the Patriots ruined that for me. So
Could be.
Christian Barmore, if he's healthy, that duo is going to be nasty, though.
it is. But Derek Brown,
Yeah, I agree.
Milton
Both
Williams.
duos would have been nasty.
Derek Brown and Milton Williams would have been something special. All right, moving on. We've got our beloved New York Giants retain Darius Slayton, 3 years, $36 million. Signed Tommy DeVito. That's good stuff. But signed Paulson Adebo, 3 years, 54, and Javon Holland got what, 3 years, 45?
Yes.
Yeah. I love both of those moves. I do. I said before, I don't see why you didn't just pay McKinney last year, but I'll let that go. Other than it's just who the hell is playing quarterback, man. That's what needs to be figured out.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna try and trade up for Cam. I don't know if it's gonna work out. It depends on how the other teams feel about him, but I think Russell Wilson would be a great option for them. I don't want Aaron Rodgers.
Rodgers is a better option than Russell Wilson.
Yeah, but I just don't want the
But it's
things that come with
Mr.
Aaron Rodgers.
I
Unlimited.
think he sucks.
Jeez. He doesn't suck.
He's not. Okay, sure. I'm not gonna go back and forth.
Whoa. He doesn't suck. That's all I'm saying.
I think he sucks.
I'll take him.
I'd rather trade him for Cam Ward than sign Russell Wilson.
Oh,
Well,
no, they're gonna do
obviously.
both. No,
You should
the
do
implication is
both.
they do both.
You don't do one of them.
Yeah.
You don't have Cam start year one.
Yeah. No, just everything about the Giants bothers me because their coach and GM is still there.
Yeah.
So everything bothers me.
I don't disagree with that
Yeah.
statement.
That's all it is. I don't
yeah.
have a problem with
everything
the moves.
went
It's just
downhill once they signed Olivier Vernon.
we all know that they're getting fired. So I just don't understand anything.
So my worry was that they knew they were getting fired, so they were just gonna go out like force Rodgers and things like that. But like Adebo and Javon Holland, the two guys they really paid, are still relatively young. So like
and good at football.
and I think Paulson Adebo is really good, a really good corner. And Javon Holland played, he played it at all
That's my dog.
pro level.
He's still 25.
Yeah.
both are. Like
Remember Javon Holland had that pick six on Black Friday against the Jets? Right before
Against
half?
Tim Boyle. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was really
That was lit.
and then we signed like Roy Robertson, Harris, Chauncey Golston.
Yeah, a
Two
couple of
cool,
depth pieces,
Like, cool
yeah.
depth pieces.
Yeah.
Um,
I like it so far. I'm just waiting to see. I think the draft is more important for us, but
they need Tevin Jenkins. Get Tevin Jenkins.
I agree
and it's
too.
an A+ offseason. in my
yeah,
opinion.
I'll go A minus. I like the moves.
That's the most biased grade I've ever heard in my life.
give it
A
a-
minus?
I mean, what
I
else
give it
were they
a-
supposed
I give
to
it
do?
a B. There's still moves to be made.
B minus. I'll
There's
call
still
it.
moves to be made.
Call it a B minus.
I'll
You
go
need to get
with
a
a-
quarterback.
I'll go to B plus. I think it was a good move. Given
Still
the,
need to make moves.
Given the situation, I feel like there wasn't much else they could really do.
You best believe when the Jets come up, I want to say some
I thought-
crazy
I
stuff.
I'm
feel
just
like-
happy they didn't go out there and make horrible.
I was about to say,
long-term
no,
investments.
I felt
agree
like
with that point.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
feel like the Giants it probably really couldn't have been much better for them.
That's my point,
And it
yeah.
definitely could have been worse.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, that's my point.
It
That's my
definitely could have been
point, my
worse.
grade,
And they're like I said when we walked down here, they're better today than they were yesterday. And I
100%,
feel like
yeah.
that's more times than not. That's all you could ask for, right?
Yeah,
yeah,
I
I
guess
agree.
in a
for
way,
sure.
yeah.
Just not
get better.
messing up.
Yeah.
All right.
you can ask for, yeah.
So, moving on, staying in that area, we've got the New York Jets retained linebacker Sherwood, 3 years, $45 million. Signed Justin Fields, 2 years, $40
It's a lot.
million.
Yeah, they
Sherwood.
paid Jamie and Sherwood.
Sherwood was a top linebacker in the league last year.
That's what I hear.
Justin Fields, 2 years, 40. Brandon Stevens, 3 years, 36, and Andre Sisco, 1 year, $10 million.
Yeah, man, good off season, brother.
I think it looks good so far.
You guys suck.
So I said in the Jets video that Justin Fields was the perfect bridge quarterback.
Yo, bro, are you ever gonna let this Jets video?
No, because I'm calling
Even
it.
I haven't taken as many victory laps as you have. You made 2 fucking predictions and you're saying it over and over again.
Well, we're on the Jets.
Yo, remember the Jets video?
All right, I'm not gonna talk about it then.
Come on, you got it. You
What
got
we're here
it.
for.
Come on.
No, you talk about it. What do you think?
I mean, Justin Fields, someone predicted it in some YouTube video.
I saw some YouTube video
No,
about the Jets.
I traded a 3rd round pick for Justin Fields in Dynasty, so I'm over the moon stoked about it. That's my dog, so that's all I really got to say.
Yeah.
Definitely sucks replacing DJ Reed with Brandon Stevens.
It's
Like
a rough
that's
Yeah.
a big downgrade there, but I mean,
Has had decent seasons in the past, but he just wasn't good in a contract year, so there's that. But,
yeah.
Yeah,
They paid him a lot.
they did pay him a significant
Yeah.
amount of money.
I like Andre Cisco. He's solid.
Cisco's cool.
Cool rotational safety.
The Jets haven't really had a good safety in years.
Yeah.
Yeah, but except for Jordan Whitehead, that one Bills game.
Yeah. Other than that, he wasn't good.
I like the Field signing. I think it's a good. You're right. He's the perfect bridge
Yeah.
quarterback.
He
That one
still has
video
a
was
young
great.
upside. He's 26.
What if he's a franchise guy?
Right. I mean, that's always.
What if Justin Fields takes y'all to the offs? Justin Fields does what Aaron Rodgers couldn't.
Justin
That's not
Fields
happening.
theoretically should never have been benched last year for the Steelers.
Her. Talk
What?
your shit, girly.
Yeah, he shouldn't have been benched for Russell. We all said it. I think we said it on the pod. I was there
Yeah,
for
we all
that
got up.
episode.
We all got up here.
Oh,
and
yeah.
said pretty much the same thing. Yeah.
We were all
And
confused.
then they won the game versus the Jets, and we said, "Oh my God, Mike Tomlin, you're so good. You made us look foolish,
Nah,
Mike
they
Tomlin."
did go. They did win their next like 4 after that.
We saw them beat the freaking Jets, and we said, "Oh my God, Mike Tomlin, you're so good."
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Jets won like 2 more games.
But
After
we
that
still
rest of
thought the
year.
Jets were decent.
Yeah.
Nah, you did. I didn't.
Yeah,
They
it
were
was-
pretty bad. Anyway,
yeah.
I'll grade it a B. I'll give it a B.
Yeah.
Justin Fields is carrying that grade.
Yeah. I agree. I'll give it a B.
C plus.
B minus.
Yeah, I think you're kind of approaching purgatory right now.
Approaching.
I mean,
You
the
guys
Jets
would
are
be
trying
happy
to
in
find their way
purgatory.
out of hell. Yeah.
So,
All right. Moving on. So let's see. We've got the Pittsburgh Steelers traded for DK Metcalf, then signed him to a 5-year, $150 million contract. Outside of that, not a whole lot. That's a lot of money.
That's
a lot
ton
of
of money.
Wait, what was it? I'm sorry.
Steelers, DK, 5 years, 150.
Oh yeah.
well, the Steelers I thought should have brought back Justin Fields. I thought
I
that
think they
was.
should get Russell Wilson.
I agree. They should just take Russ back,
I think
I
Justin
see- I see
Fields.
you.
or
I see
should have
what
went
you
for
mean, though.
Darnold.
I thought Justin Fields was a better option than the Russell Wilson for the Steelers.
As
think
currently
Fields-
constructed, I think Russell.
I think
Wilson makes
Russ
too
is
much
better
sense.
for DK and George Pickens than
Yes,
Fields is.
because
by
he
far.
just says fuck it
yeah, he
and
just
sends
launches
the
shit.
moon ball.
I mean, I think there's an argument to be made that Justin Field led Steelers team looked better.
I'm at like a C minus.
I'm like at like a. I'm gonna be honest. I'm at like a D, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
I didn't like the
I don't.
pickup.
No.
Not even.
I
the-
like the DK move.
I like trading for DK. I think you overpaid a little bit, but also that's as things stand right now. That's all you did. I mean,
Yeah, that's all.
Exactly.
They do.
who's
yeah.
the Steelers quarterback right now?
They wanted to be Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
I think Ben Roethlisberger said he.
Right, that's
he'll
what I'm saying.
come
Coming
back.
out of
Yeah.
retirement.
You paid fucking DK $130 million, and you have fucking.
Chris Boswell showed
I
some
was-
clips of him, I think, too, or something like that. Where he said,
I'm about
like,
to say, bro, you fucking Colin Prestigiacomo quarterback right now. Like,
Oh, shout out Colin, man.
so like, I'm gonna go with D minus, bro.
Do they even have a backup right now? They have nothing. They have nobody.
I don't think so.
Get Mason Rudolph back.
Yeah, that'd be
Yeah,
great.
that'll be good.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the D. Pretty mid.
DK and Pickens is fun though.
Yeah, they're gonna fight
I don't know
every
for
day.
who, but
They're gonna fight. It's
not
for
fun for any-
DBs.
yeah, not fun for their teammates, DBs,
Or DBs, yeah.
the police,
For
but
the viewer,
for the viewers, sure,
the
yeah.
consumer.
Somebody said, I think it was Theo Ash made a video about basically saying how DK and George Pickens do the same things. So they don't really complement one another. And the top comment was like, they're only there so that when one gets ejected, they'll just have another one ready to go.
Well, that was the thing. I thought they would get a receiver that did something different, like a Cup or someone else. I don't know.
You're asking for too much, buddy.
I guess so.
That'd be too intelligent.
Like when we were doing the DK comparison video, like we said DK did the same things. He's just better than Pickens. Now they just have two of them.
Now they have a
What is
bigger, stronger, faster pick.
What is
I didn't even
Pete-
want Pickens to begin with.
What does
They
he
have
say
two.
sometimes? He'd be saying, you know, I'll double it.
You know, I doubled it. That's all they did. They doubled it. They saw George Pickens and said, let me double it.
Hey, maybe they go get Cooper Cup or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is a D though. Bad Steelers.
They just haven't done anything.
You think
I mean,
Tomlin's on the hot seat?
I've thought Tomlin's
no,
been on the hot
because he'll go
seat.
10-7.
He
and
will
everything will be
manage
fine.
to go 10-7 again this year,
And
and
everything will be fine.
yeah, they have to pay TJ Watt too, by the way. So that thing's getting bigger
They
by
gotta
the
give him
day.
$40 million.
He has to be on the hot seat now, bro. But
I don't know. It's the front office's fault, not even his at this point.
All right. Next up, the 49ers lost everyone. They signed Luke Farrell.
bad.
They signed Luke Farrell and they lost
Also
everybody.
bad offseason.
They
Bad.
lost Hargrave. They lost 2 O-linemen. They cut Juszczyk. What the fuck?
Yeah,
You cut Kyle Juszczyk.
that for that reason and that reason only. I don't care about the rest. It's an F. That's a vibes
cut
move.
Kyle
That was a
Juszczyk.
horrible vibes move.
Juszczyk.
Yeah, so far it's an F. They've done nothing.
Yeah, maybe it's addition by subtraction, but
That's a lot of subtraction.
hella subtraction.
That's hella subtraction. All right. Tampa Bay re-signed Godwin 3 years, 66.
Boy.
Bro's looking out the window.
God there.
Yo, I look
God,
over
dude,
here.
God,
I saw the cat.
God there.
Bro's trying to pet the cat through the window.
There's glass there, brother.
Bro, I think he tried to open my window once.
Christian Fulton has agreed to terms
No
with
joke.
the Kansas City Chiefs. 2 years, $20 million.
Who's that?
Christian Fulton. Chargers lose him to a
Certain
division rival.
teams, like when they make a move, it's just like, oh, he's gonna be
a great
great.
move.
for
What's
them.
that saying? Yeah, the rich get richer.
Yep, exactly.
Boom, boom, boom.
Yo, they got smacked around. So
True.
Darius Slay's still out there, by the way. Someone
So
got to
he's
go
a
get that.
Steeler.
man.
He's a Steeler.
He
isn't
didn't. Yeah,
Wait, he signed?
Yeah.
It's not on here, but I forgot. Yeah, I
Did
think
not
that
I
see
don't
that.
think he's like officially released
Oh,
yet.
yeah.
That's
Oh,
why.
okay,
But
okay.
like he
Did not
already
see that.
signed.
Wow.
Because you're
That's a
allowed to
good move.
tamper,
Yeah.
legal
Yeah.
tampering.
Yep. Shout out tampering.
So see.
Um,
Steelers.
So yeah, Tampa Bay, Chris Godwin, 3 years, 66. Re-signed Levante David and brought in Hassan Reddick, 1 year, 14.
They didn't really need to do too much.
Solid. Yeah.
I like the prove it deal for Hassan Reddick.
Yeah. They're
Yeah.
saying so they said Godwin left 20 million on the table. And on McAfee yesterday, they were saying players hate to move. Like moving is a bitch. And so if a player can stay where they're at,
Especially if it
Godwin's
was like
made money,
the
too.
Patriots. I'm sure moving from Florida to New England probably sucks in the winter.
yeah.
Your wife's
Probably-
probably pissed, bro.
Bro.
Taxes too.
Yeah.
Wife's
Bro,
probably
state tax
pissed,
too.
bro.
Right. Well, considering that, actually, he probably is making the same as if he
Yeah.
were
Probably
the Patriots.
evens about. Yeah.
Yeah.
About evens out.
So it makes sense.
I think
Chris Godwin, bro.
Kind of shitty.
It's a
To
lot.
be honest. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Well, yeah,
Florida's
Tampa Bay
zero.
has no income tax. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So the Titans paid a guy called Dan Moore 4 years, $82 million.
that's what
hell.
he's called. Yeah.
4
Dan
years,
Moore.
4 years,
Dan Moore
$82
money.
million. I have no fucking clue who that is. I do
I
now,
know who
obviously,
he
but
is.
Yeah.
Knew who he was.
Now you really know.
Know how bad this is. But hey, they have the best offensive line coach in the NFL, and Bill Callahan. So
You think he has input on moves like this?
probably
Right.
has to have input on moves like this.
He
Yes.
said,
So he
"Dan
probably
Moore-"
sees something.
He was like, oh, Dan Moore.
Well, Dan Moore's a big son of a bitch, and he's athletic. So like,
He was like, oh, Dan Moore, I like that guy. And they said 4 years, 82. He was like, what? What do you mean? What do you mean 82 million?
wait, you mean like 8.2 million over 4
How
years,
many-
right?
Where are the decimals there?
Yeah, not a good move. D minus.
Yeah.
Actually, F. That's their only move, right? So far.
They signed Cody Barton, 3 years, 21.
F. Sorry, Cody.
Yeah, tough. Yeah, I concur.
F.
All right. Last but not least, the Washington Commanders traded for Deebo Samuel, traded for Laramie Tunzel, retained Bobby Wagner, 1 year, $9.5 million, retained Zach Ertz, and brought in Javon Kinlaw, 3 years, $45 million.
I would give them a good grade. The Javon Kinlaw is terrible. It's terrible.
Yeah, it's a bad deal.
It's really awful. If you watch him play, literally, I said this in the group chat yesterday. If you watch him play football over the last 5 years, he does not even deserve half the money that he got.
So how much was Jonathan Allen's cap hit?
I don't know.
Do we know? Because, like, was it that much more than Kinlaw that they cut Jonathan Allen?
Kinlaw got like $8 million from the Jets, and we were screaming that he got overpaid
That's crazy.
all
Nah,
year.
3 years, 45 was
Yeah, but I don't think it's
Wild.
too much guaranteed.
It doesn't say, but
I don't know.
former first round pick, but like
I mean, other than that, though, it's a home run,
Yeah.
and they had money to spend. I don't think it was too much guaranteed. Like, I think they have an out.
I don't
so-
love the Debo move either, though.
yeah, but it was for nothing.
gave nothing. You gave him a 5th round
You
pick.
know, now you
yeah.
have to pay him. He takes up cap space now.
Yes, but like, what else were you gonna necessarily use that cap?
What were they
space
going to
on?
do? Sign Javon
Cooper
Kinlaw?
Kupp.
You could argue Cup would have been a better move, but I don't know.
Cup's not guaranteed though. There's gonna be a lot of people that want.
I don't
Kupp,
know.
you
I'm really low on Debo. I think he's just on a really downward spiral in his career. I think he's just getting out of football shape and gets paid way too much.
Yeah, I don't necessarily think Debo's amazing anymore, but I still think he could be productive for your football team.
So- Allen was due $15.5 million in base
And they-
salary and zero guaranteed, and they cut him
to then pay
and
15
paid Javon
million.
Kinlaw $15 million.
Yeah,
That's horrible, right? Like,
Adam Peterson's-
am I missing something?
Adam Peterson's done really well, and that's a bad move.
Right. That's why I'm so like baffled. Like, because they've done really well.
The idea
You got
Kinlaw-
younger, I guess.
The idea of Kinlaw is a lot better than what he is.
Javon
how
Kinlaw
old
is
is
the
Kinlaw?
DK Metcalf of defensive linemen, except significantly worse.
Way worse.
Sucks.
Yeah.
All in all, though, I give it a B+ of an offseason. They made some big moves. I mean, I like the Debo move for a 5th round.
I like
pick
the
or
deep,
whatever
yeah.
it was.
It costs you nothing. Yeah.
And then Laramie Tunsil, you needed a left tackle, you needed offensive line help, and you got it. So
Well, that was a good move. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you kept the guys that helped you get to where you got to last year, the veterans. You added some more veterans. You got probably a franchise left tackle. You still have a shit ton of draft capital. Like, it's a home run. I agree. I'll lower the grade a little bit because of the Kenlaw contract. I'll give it an A-. But again, I got to pull it up, but I don't think the Kinlaw contract has too many guarantees. So, like, I feel like they have an out there at some point. So,
I'll give it a B+.
I'll go with a B just because, like I said, I don't like that you cut Jonathan Allen to pay Kinlaw the same amount of
Just
money.
doesn't
It just
make
doesn't make
sense.
any sense to me. But the rest of the moves were really, really good. So,
that's every team, right?
yeah, that's everyone.
Wow.
Yeah.
Took it almost 2 hours to get through every team. That was crazy.
Yeah,
It honestly flew.
it did. It was a lot of fun talking about certain teams.
yeah. All right, real quick before we end, we are going to do the NFL Free Agency Awards. First one up, the biggest winner of free agency so far. So, team.
Man, I really want to say the Vikings, but the fact that I don't know who their quarterback is, I don't love that.
Well, we know.
We do.
Is it
It's JJ. You drafted him 10.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I'll go with the Minnesota Vikings. They brought in so many great pieces and to a roster that, like you said, was already maybe the most talented in the NFL outside of the Eagles. So I'll go with the Minnesota Vikings. I think they nailed it.
I don't want to just say the Vikings, so I'm going
I'm going to go with the Washington Commanders. I think, you have a rookie quarterback who just went to the NFC Championship game, and you geared up for his second year by adding a franchise left tackle, and you added receiver help for a 5th round pick. You kept the veterans around. You kept Bobby Wagner. You kept Zach Ertz. I think it's a home run offseason for the Commanders.
Go ahead.
You go.
Definitely won
Just
already.
did.
Oh, you did? Who'd you pick?
Literally said the Vikings. Did a whole.
And
whole
you said,
segment.
damn, I don't just want to pick the Vikings.
Yeah, and you actually responded. Yeah.
Yeah, he said, who's the Vikings quarterback? You said, it's JJ.
Yeah.
Shit.
You were.
I'm going to go Bears. I mean, I love what they did with the offensive line. I mean, I think they're going to if Gentry's there at 10, I think they take him and it totally changes the offense. I think Ben Johnson is going to have that team firing on all cylinders. I think that's the best off season.
Yeah, I hate to also pick a team that was already chosen, but the Minnesota Vikings had the best offseason in all of football. It's not even close, in my personal opinion. They got everything they possibly needed. The Rams dominated the interior of their offensive line, and then they went ahead and got 2 great interior offensive linemen, went ahead and got 2 great interior defensive linemen. They're stacked, arguably the best roster in all of football. And, yeah, I mean, the Vikings got it this year.
All right.
All right.
Who's the biggest loser of free agency so far?
I think I have the same answer every year, and it's the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, they just haven't done anything. They haven't signed a free agent for more than $6 million since 2015. I mean, Jerry Jones is just aging away over there. I don't know. They paid Dak Prescott all this money. They paid CeeDee Lamb all this money, and they're not putting any pieces around them. It's terrible.
I'll take it a step further, and I'll say the Cincinnati Bengals, bro. They also don't pay their players.
Sure.
And their, players are continuously asking for out. They've tagged T. Higgins again. It's just at what point do you take the next step?
I'm going to go with the San Francisco 49ers. I mean, you were a Super Bowl contender 2 years ago in the Super Bowl, on the edge of winning the Super Bowl, and now all of your players are essentially gone. You lost Dre Greenlaw, you lost Hufanga, you lost Charvarius Ward. You don't have any defensive linemen anymore, essentially, because Javon Hargrave walked out that door. And you were supposed to add on the offensive line and didn't do that. Instead, you lost Aaron Banks. What a horrible offseason. The Niners are done. The Niners are no longer contenders, and we have to look at them that way. So,
My biggest loser is the Houston Texans. This is a team who had some of the worst offensive line play in all football last year, and they fixed that by trading away a franchise left tackle. Makes absolutely no sense. You did nothing to replace him. This is arguably the worst offensive line in all of football. So Houston Texans, big losers. What was the most surprising contract that you saw thrown out, whether it's the money or even just the landing spot for a guy where you were just like, wow, I didn't see that coming?
Oh, mine's easy. I'm going to go with Dan Moore.
Yeah.
What? 4 for 82? I mean, look, if any offensive line coach could get the best out of him, it's Bill Callahan. Don't get me wrong, but 4 for 82 for a very unproven, I think it was with $50 million guaranteed too, nonetheless. Just a very unproven left tackle. And honestly, not even unproven, he was bad last year. He was not good at football. Go ahead, ask Steelers fans. They'll say the same thing. Yeah, I just think this Dan Moore signing was just a bit questionable by the Titans.
I think the most surprising contract to me was DJ Reed, who I thought was the best cornerback on the market, getting 3-year 48 from the Lions. Thought it was a steal for them. I thought worse cornerbacks got paid way more. So I was very surprised by that.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm going to go with Jonathan Allen getting cut, and I'm going to tie those in together. I'm going to go with the Jonathan Allen getting cut and signing of Javon Kinlaw. I just don't see the vision there. I think Jonathan Allen's still maybe not what he once was. I think he's still a really good player. I think he's better than Javon Kinlaw. Don't think Javon Kinlaw is worth that kind of money anyway. Luckily, the Commanders had a really good free agency outside of that.
I'm going to go with Aaron Banks signing for 4 years, $70+ million. I just feel like if this was a severe overpay for the Packers, considering some other interior offensive linemen who were better than Aaron Banks got signed for way less. Look at James Daniels in Miami, so on and so forth. And the Packers had many other needs on their team, edge rusher, receiver, and for an interior offensive lineman who isn't that good to be their marquee signing. I think that was the most surprising move to me. I didn't think the Packers were going to be like in play for that type of dude. So kind of just answered these, but what was the best value contract from the free agency period so far? I'm sure you're going to say DJ Reed.
I'm going to stick with my answer of DJ Reed, yeah.
I'm going to go with Josh Sweat. I think they can unlock another level to his game, and for $18 million a year when we just saw, I mean, obviously he's not in the tier with Myles Garrett, but like Myles Garrett, Max Crosby, those guys got paid. Good edge rusher talent. You have to pay them a lot of money, and I think the Cardinals got Josh Allen for a pretty good deal.
Josh Sweat.
Josh Sweat. Yeah.
I'm going to completely agree with you. I think just the fact of getting a guy like Josh Sweat, a guy of that caliber, who, like we mentioned, not only is a great player but shows up in the big moments in the big games. Getting a guy of that caliber for less than $20 million per year is a absolute steal. So I think Josh Sweat's a great value.
I'm going to go with one of the signings from the Minnesota Vikings. I'm going to go with Ryan Kelly. I mean, how many times can you really get an all-pro level center for just $18 million over 2 seasons? I mean, they went ahead and they fixed one of their biggest needs for just $9 million a year. Ridiculous. I thought that was a great contract and one of the best contracts in all free agency.
Yeah. And then the worst value contract of the free agency
Oh, you gave
period.
yours. Yours was DJ Reed.
No, his was the best.
So now this is the worst.
Worst, yeah. My worst is Aaron Banks again. I don't have to repeat myself.
I don't know if I'm taking your answer right now.
Go ahead.
It's Javon Kinlaw. He's terrible.
I completely agree. Yeah, it's Javon Kinlaw.
Dan Moore.
Yeah. All right.
So, all right.
It's a ball game podcast.
That was ball game.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Please be sure to leave a like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, follow us on all of our socials. Free agency still has some moves to be made. Hopefully we get a bag, fellas.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're out here, you know, like we're on the market. We've got, you know, we got feelers out there, you know.
If Dan Moore's getting 82 mil,
If Dan Moore's getting 82 million, someone could throw me a couple grand.
Yeah,
That's all I'm saying.
yeah,
you know,
give
That
him a
is
shot.
fact,
like,
though.
like that's it.
Give him a shot.
Yeah, come
Give
on,
him a shot. All right, and with that,
ball game.
ball game.
Ball game.